Already?
What, huh?
Are you
She
late?
says we're live.
No, it's not over. It just started.
No, it's over. This was great, guys. Thank you all for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Eric, how'd you?
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah,
So
great
much
seeing you again,
information.
yes.
I mean, just
It was fun,
head
fun.
exploding,
Bye, all.
life-altering experience.
I think we're gonna
Tacos?
have to
Tacos.
Taco.
raise this somehow.
Raise that somehow?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. Wait, yeah, I got an idea.
like a box or.
No, here, watch. Okay, lift that up. Okay, guys, we're using an engine here as
My table.
a table. We're trying new systems out for your viewing pleasure. Boom.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
That's
that's-
better, I think. It's a little crooked, but it's better, right?
Well,
It could be a little crooked.
yeah. Look at
The
the
box
content
is
that's being
frickin'.
done right now.
All right, can we actually? Are we good?
You're fine. The box is crooked, but you're fine. I'll
Good.
try and hold it straight.
So happy Sunday night, everybody. We have Eerie Eric from the Gearhead Underground, which kills me because I wanted that to be the name of my channel. I ended up with the stupid Uncle Tony's Garage.
whatever.
And you've got the Gearhead Underground.
That was created by me and a buddy of mine years ago. Out of sheer, we were both building custom cars at the time, different custom cars, and we got this thing where we started. My buddy started getting like comments and messages from higher up hot rod builders going stuff like, "Why are you posting pictures of that?" Like he had a gauge bezel. He's like fitting it on where he thinks on a dash or whatever, and he just took a picture of it. And guys, somebody was like. Why are you doing that? You didn't even build a dashboard yet. And we were on the phone one night and he was bitching. I go, dude, we're the underground, man.
Right.
We're the Gearhead Underground. And that was the start of it. It just and it just became this thumb your nose at all these guys that were like, if you don't have this giant place and all this stuff and all this equipment to do this, you can't be doing this. Go away. Well, we blew everybody's mind because we showed that what you could do with basic hand tools, a little bit of knowledge, and say you don't have money for a $10,000 power hammer or something. How are you gonna do this?
Right.
So we figured it out and we did it. And oh God, there was some hatred, but there was a lot of love because the guys in their garages and stuff that did this on the side, they ate it up and loved it. And what we discovered was there was a lot of us. There was a ton of people that wanted to. That same mentality, like I'm going to throw out the rules, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's how the Gearhead Underground got started.
We did that video. We did a video yesterday. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was like 3 ways you can get into the hot rod or the car hobby and not spend any money. Because I explained it. There's the 25% that have all the resources in the world.
Yep.
There's the 50% that are kind of like us. We have
We
some
can
resources.
make
We can
things
make
happen if need to.
Right, but we have the money for cars, we have the money for parts, tools, and so on and so forth. Then there's a 25% that has nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole industry is geared towards that top 25%. Because it's all advertiser driven.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
The whole industry just wants to sell parts,
Which-
wants to sell services.
It's the nature of the beast, though.
Right.
With this stuff.
Right. But the stuff like what you're doing, what you were doing,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
are doing.
Yeah.
The two-car garage. This is really just a giant two-car garage.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's nothing
Oh, this is
special.
awesome, though. I mean, you guys are only getting like bits and pieces of what you see here, but this place is really cool. There's some neat stuff here.
They've seen it all.
Oh, okay, never mind. You know, and I don't. Okay, whatever. I will say this though. This blue car that's sitting behind us. That was the car. That was the first video I watched of you, and that's what sold me on you. It was like, oh, you got to see this guy. Check this out. And it was just this out beating on this car. Something happened. He went to a parts store and came back and just kept playing with it.
Kept beating it until we broke it.
Yeah, and you find a weak link, you fix it. You go to the next weak link. And that's the nature of this stuff. And that's the fun, too. I mean, they're not always fun. When you're sitting on the side of the highway and your transmission has decided to explode all over 65, it's not that fun, but it makes for a great story. A couple months after, and like when the wounds heal on your hands.
Now you see, you could ask Kathy, right? I almost look forward to stuff like that because
You do it on
that's
purpose.
I do it on purpose. I swear to God, I do it on purpose.
You do. You make it happen, so you
I
have
wait
something
until-
to do.
What's that?
You make bad things happen.
I don't
You
make
have something
bad,
to do
no.
and think about.
I-
No, it's true.
I don't make bad things
Yes, you
happen.
do.
All right, I do.
You
I
make
do.
us,
Okay.
you make us run out of gas all the time, like
Hang
every day.
on a second. I'm fluffing your bad breaking aura. There we go. That's good footage, kids.
That's weird, man. It's really
Sorry.
weird.
Dee Speed Shop says a table. You guys are sellouts.
He's another one, DD Speed Shop. Do you know Dan?
I don't think so, but hi, Dan. Nice to meet you.
And Danny, his girlfriend.
Okay,
And
Danny.
he is not good enough for her in any way, shape, or form.
Okay,
Not good
all
enough
right.
in any way, shape, or form. That's the Hot Rod Jesus stuff. So
Okay.
he's up in Kanadistan, and he does what you do.
Oh, okay, cool.
What he does with 57 Chevys and shit.
So let me guess, Dan. I'm gonna just make a quick assumption. Your shower looks like mine when I get out with metal around the drain that drives Irresistible Amy crazy all the time. And then recently, I made a little bit of I took some time off, and I'm helping a guy at Ace Chassis. He builds pulling tractors.
Right.
He's an aluminum smith, and I wanted to up my aluminum game. So I took a little break from the body and soul shop, and I'm over there helping him out for a couple weeks and learning amazing stuff. My wife was so excited, like, oh, maybe there won't be metal shavings in the drain anymore. Now it's aluminum shavings, and it's even worse.
No magnet.
So,
Wow.
you know.
I'm actually building a tribute car
Okay.
to for DD Speed Shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come
We're
on.
moving. We're walking.
Yeah, we got to show.
Okay.
We're gonna walk this way.
Well, he does.
Which
he
way
does
are
a
we
lot.
walking?
He does a lot of Tri-5 stuff.
Oh, okay.
So and he likes to do a lot of 4-door to 2-door conversions.
All right.
So he was working on a wagon. Anyway, what happened was I said I want to do something, like Dan does. So this is actually what we started with. This is what we're starting with.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's obvious it's going to be a 4-speed car because
All right. Yeah.
what
yeah.
Tri-5, right?
Yeah.
We've already got some stuff for the interior, the upholstery, so we got the soft things there. We got some frame components.
Stiffeners. These are
Yeah.
frame stiffeners. That's
Exactly.
a wedge in case you need to shim it more, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motor mount. That's gonna be a motor mount.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So hinges, because every car needs a hinge of some sort. So this is actually we're gonna put this together as a 4-door, then convert it to 2-door,
Uh-huh.
and then bring it back to this state. So it's the full circle.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
there's no fortune cookies in here.
Whatever paint
if you
fillers you guys
notice
are buying, I want to buy some from you. But that's okay. Yeah. I'm in.
We
I'm
can
in.
mail-
This is like a 2-nighter. We can do this.
Dude, firewall,
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God, wiper.
wiper mount,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm not fucking around.
They're saying you should have taken the
Oh.
mini bikes.
Okay. All right. I see. Okay. Oh,
Oh.
there's 2. Okay.
There's
So
2 of
that's an extra. I mean, those are points. I mean, that's extra points for
Yeah, this is
the
what I'm-
purists and stuff like that. It is chrome, technically. I mean, so yeah.
This is
all
what
right,
I'm saying, yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, actually,
yeah.
those go over here.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get it right.
Oh, okay. I see that.
All right, so, yeah, but that's our tribute.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll notice there's no pork in there either, yeah.
Yeah. No. I like it. It's very stripped down, basic down to its basic function, and yeah. Okay.
No chops, no bacon, no pork loin, nothing. No pork in that build yet. All right, let's go back to,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to move. I have to walk backwards. Oh my goodness. All right. Carry this and walk backwards. Nothing to trip on here.
nothing to see here,
Nothing
folks.
to see. Nothing to trip on.
Okay, you're good. Go ahead, go.
You're backing me up. Okay.
Okay.
Doing good. All right. There you go. You're there.
Okay. Oh, good job. Okay. All right.
And we're back.
And we're back. All right. What's up, Unity?
Andy's, yeah, Andy
Andy's
from
here.
Your Sports Garage. On the 1st, we're racing his truck, Casper.
Oh, this is the one.
That's the one we're racing Casper with. So Casper has got a 700 horsepower Boss 429 hybrid tunnel ram Dominator.
Oh, Casper, you dirty girl.
Yeah, I have a 318.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So,
need
how
to
much
introduce your
nitrous are you
guest again.
throwing at this situation?
enough of it.
Okay.
Enough
All
of
right.
it.
Okay.
You need to introduce your guest again. People are asking.
This is the one and only Eerie Eric, known from where you're famous from Full Custom Garage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's-
Sure. My son says I'm famous, but famous people are rich.
This is what I'm saying.
not. So yeah, but I'm friends with Ian. Been friends with Ian a long time. If you want to date our friendship, MySpace.
Oh shit.
So this is a story with how I met Ian. Okay, one night I got on social media and MySpace. I had to go in my house on the computer because these didn't have much internet at that point yet. And I was chopping my 54 Chevy at the time. It's a bare metal car. I did 57 Chevy rear wheel openings on it, 65 T-Bird interior, the wraparound back seat and everything in it, chopped the top. Well, while I was in the middle of chopping it, I was posting pictures to MySpace. I randomly, one night, get a message from Ian, and I had seen his video from Hot Rods Back from the Dead.
That was
the first
great.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. So somebody gave me the DVD, and I watched him like, oh, this guy's cool. So I looked him up and sent him a friend request or whatever was on MySpace to follow the guy. So randomly one night, I get a message from him like, hey, I see you're chopping a 54 Chevy. So am I. Do you want to race? I'm like, yeah, sure, it's on. So for the next week, we posted pictures back and forth and on our pages to see who went faster. He beat me by like a day, but how do I put this? My chop turned out way better.
Way better.
And I worked 40 hours that
Does
week.
he know?
He
Okay.
knows. And basically, he did it while filming, so his days were get up, chop the car. I was work 8 hours a day, go home, eat dinner, go crawl my butt in the garage, and chop the car. And we just kind of became friends from there. We followed each other into Facebook and then Instagram, and then when Johnny 5 came about, somehow, way, shape, or form, you should come out and help. And I couldn't get free to do that. So I said, man, I'm really sorry, but the next one I'll come out for, the next weird one. And that was Space Junkie 2.0. And
Unbelievable.
so I met, very first day I met and saw Space Junkie for the first time, I also took that car apart. Is
that car does it have the same presence in real life as it has?
Yes, more.
It does, right? More, right?
More, because the cars, both of them, 1 and 2, sit insanely low.
Yeah.
Like aired up, the belt line on Junkie 1 is not as tall as the belt line on your Charger right there.
Okay.
It is utterly, and that's aired up driving. It's not that tall. That's how low that car is. So we did Space Junkie 2, built the body. We used 59 Ranchero or Ford Wagon fenders.
I remember
And that's what
watching
we
that,
started
yeah.
with, and we just kind of went from there. Johnny Jalopy wasn't super happy at first because he was doing sketches the week before he was there a week before I was. He's doing sketches and finalizing his artwork and everything, and I get there and I start adding things to the body, so he had to go back through and redo all his artwork. Sorry, Johnny. Sharpen them pencils, kid. In any event, that's kind of me and Ian's story. So since then, I've been out again. We did the Blue Demon trike. I ended up buying it.
Which you've got here in Tennessee.
It's here in Tennessee. I'm finishing assembling it now, actually. Next weekend, it's supposed to be at its first outing to the public at a Scooters show, the Spring Thaw Motorcycle Swap Meet and Show. It's at the Lebanon Fairgrounds, yeah. So kind of excited for that, kind of putting it all back together and putting all the shiny stuff on it. Because TV show stuff, it works, it's functional. It's not always done to the highest standards of certain things that I do, like at the shop and stuff like that. You make them nice. We
Right.
do nothing but chase perfection. And with a car, you're never going to hit perfection. You're just not.
Well, by the time you hit perfection in one area, another area is already starting to deteriorate.
Yes, yeah, usually is the case. So, but now I'm going back out again. In a couple weeks, we're going to be doing a square back Volkswagen this time around. At some point, we're supposed to be doing a UFO as well.
Did you see the gasser, that square back Volkswagen gasser that this
Yeah,
guy
I
built?
think so. Yeah.
With the 2 flat 4s?
Yep.
You doing anything like that?
No, not yet. But yeah, we can. How do I put this? We can plant that seed in Ian's head and be like, check this out. Because then his gears will start turning, and that leads into a phone call. When you coming back out? And that's, it's good because it's fun. It's a neat little vacation.
So, Now, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Ian's show is pretty much how we ended up doing this.
Yeah. Ian's show showed a lot and opened a lot of eyes that you don't need to have certain things go on in the automotive car show world that you don't have to have. He stripped it down, him and his producer Brooks stripped it down to its barest form. So what you see of Ian on TV, that's him. And that is the most natural way to film stuff. And it's real, and it gets your attention. Not everybody agrees with, everything that anyone's gonna build or do or their style. But
when I first started watching his videos, I guess it was about 8 or 10 years ago now, when he first came around. As soon as I watched a couple of his videos, I connected with what he was doing. I was like, oh, and I'm not a custom guy at all. I mean, I'm a hot rodder. I'm a drag racer.
It goes hand in hand, though, with his style and what he does.
Well, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter the style. It was not the style, the genre. It's
the train of thought.
Mentality.
Yes.
It's the mentality,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So right away, I started, okay, well, I gotta learn about this guy. So then I started hitting forums and shit like that, just to learn what I can. It's like, oh, he used to build race car chassis up in New York, right? And then you find all of the hate. And anytime you find the hate, you know you've got somebody who's onto something, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's so good. He's a hack. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? Yep, no. There you go. Now I know he does know what he's talking about.
Yes.
So
the keyboard commandos. Yes.
We
love you. You guys are great.
they keep the wheels turning.
Does.
But I watched. It was continually in repeats and in reruns, right?
What show, so your viewers know what you're talking about?
Full Custom Garage, Ian Russell.
It's on Motor Trend Network and on Motor Trend, their app.
Well, this is before Motor Trend. This is when he was on Maverick.
Right? Yep.
So I never missed a show. I rewatched every one probably 10 times. And at the time, I was in the parts business. Media was dead to me, right? Because I was in the magazine business before that, right? Media was dead to me. I was just selling Mopar parts and doing my thing. But I never missed one of his shows. And I was like, this guy, and he's the one that inspired me to start looking to get back into the media thing.
Yeah.
And we started with a podcast, and the podcast led to this channel. But it was all directly related to Ian and what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's neat is he brought out a lot of people that he opened a lot of eyes of you can do this way. You can do this in low buck, or you can do this just because you don't have thousands of dollars to put into something, it makes you get more mechanically inclined to like, how am I going to solve this issue? I do the same thing with my stuff too. I kind of take it a pride that like I can only spend a couple grand on something, but have it go and compete on the world stage with all the big guys, and either get flack for it or get praised for it. Usually I get both, and it's fine. It's okay. I'll take the good with the bad, because one way, shape, or form, whatever I did, whatever thing I contrived together that rolled into a show to put with a little thing on it or whatever to be judged, it's getting a response, be it good or bad. But I like when people see my stuff and they either get a big smile or a frown. It's the same to me, because you're pulling up some type of guttural reaction from that, and that's a person can't hide that. They can't hide their first impression of something.
Right.
And I love seeing that. The best part is as kids. I let kids at a car show. I got yelled at once. They were, please don't let children in and out of your vehicles. We can't be responsible, blah, blah. I let kids sit in the car all the time. I'll run the bubble up, and and they like, their eyes get big. I'm like, do you want to sit in there? And I'm like, yeah. And their parents are like, you sure? I'm like, just take off their shoes and set them in there, and we'll put the bubble down. I usually put the bubble down. They grab the wheel and they sitting in there for a minute, and then I'll pretend like the controls stop working, and I'll knock on the bubble like, hey kid, this thing's locked. I gotta go get the fire department. I'll be back, and I'll walk off. And you watch the joy kind of drain out a little bit. And you're like, no, I'm just kidding. Here you go. Here's your parents.
Who's the guest again?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's because new people keep coming in.
This is Eerie Eric, Gearhead Underground. And
hi, kids.
So the car that you're talking about, a lot of people don't know what car you're talking about. Do you have a picture of the Iron Lung on there?
I may. You can also, there's a hashtag too, Iron Lung Bubble Top.
Yeah, just hashtag Iron Lung Bubble Top, and that's the car that he's talking about. We did a video, I guess it was about 2 months ago, in case you guys maybe didn't see it, but we walked around that car.
Yeah.
But just give him a picture so that...
Picture. Aha! Here we go.
I have no pictures on my phone.
Yeah,
What,
you
nothing?
don't want to know the extent. I don't know. Here we
Well,
go.
here, go ahead.
Okay.
Can you see that? Okay, hang on.
I'll come up to you.
Can you see that, guys? It's very cool.
So that's a 65 T-Bird.
Yep, it's a 65 T-Bird. I tell everyone I cut all the ugly off and built what was left. Built the frame, built the bubble. I blow bubbles, big bubbles. On occasion, you'll see me chewing gum, and I'll blow bubbles too for that. I actually had somebody ask for one of my gum bubbles at one point. I was at a show, and I blew a bubble, and they're like, "Can you blow a bubble?" Me and Dennis Roth were sitting there trying to blow bubbles, and I blew one. Guy's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I'm like, "Eat it." And he's like, "I want it." I'm like,
Oh, man.
"What?" So I kid you not. I kind of went, "Okay, here," and he grabbed it and he walked off. With
Oh,
this
man.
guy walked off with this bubble, a bubblelicious, pink bubblelicious. It was about this big, but it started to deflate as he walked away. But okay, whatever. Thank you. Come again. You know,
At least
I don't
he
know.
didn't ask you
Whatever.
to reflate it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So they're talking about the fact that you're not working and talking at the same time like DD Speed Shop. They want to
geez.
see you work on things and talk at the same time. And DD Speed Shop says, I just sent my stuff to UTG, mediocre work and old man labor rates.
Oh, they
It
want
was like the nicest thing I've heard
DD
today.
outsourcing, clickbait, and elder abuse. Nice. Good, Harry.
they want to watch us work while we talk.
All right, what are we doing?
Uh,
You gonna work on something?
well, yeah. Here's a
Uh-oh.
hammer. Here's a connecting rod.
Oh no.
Here,
What are you
here.
gonna
You
do?
can have the.
Okay.
Well, we'll work while we talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So
I can't see what you're doing.
now I'm like DD Speed Shop.
Okay.
So this is setting the pinion for those that don't know.
Go ahead. Now we're working. Go ahead. What do you want to know?
They're laughing.
Hang on.
Work on the 55, they say.
Set the calibration.
Work on the 55.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 55 is over there. I just showed it to you. I
Oh,
wanted to work on this though.
TV
Oh,
says,
shit,
Kathy,
you know-
I'm so sorry.
I know we do a lot of engine building on this channel too.
Oh, no. He said I was just joking, but
I got tape.
that's better work than
Mask it
DD's
up.
ever
I
done,
masked that off so it
Benjamin
doesn't get damaged in that area.
Yeah, we need to bar it.
Good.
Okay. Any other questions? I'm tired now.
And I'm spent. Line.
Is that how Ian works?
Yeah. It's it's well, when I go out there, it's usually how do I put this? We put a bunch of chimpanzees in a room with typewriters. We let them go for about an hour or so, and we get Shakespeare every now and then. So yeah, but that's it. Yeah. See, I love how that gets the adrenaline.
That's how Russians fix their tanks. Good. Dee says, I'm learning too much too fast.
Sorry.
We got to slow down. Yeah, I know. Well, he's Canadian. So.
If anyone would like to ask any weird questions or whatever, I give bad advice.
Oh no,
Seriously.
Parker Russell was sitting on the other stream this whole time. Yeah, we had a problem. We couldn't bring that one up for some reason.
Technical
Sorry about
difficulties.
that. Technical difficulties. Let's
Just a
see.
little, just a little.
Without context, that was quite funny.
We're here to please at all times. So I have to ask. Let me ask you some weirdo questions. I guess.
Ask me questions.
All right, yeah. So first hot rod.
1969 Charger. When
Nice.
I bought it. It was 1977. I was 15. I bought it for $20. It was a stolen recovery. Had no motor, trans, interior, and I had to sell the rear end out of it to pay for the tow to get it back to my parents' house,
Holy
where I promptly got just absolutely railed and ended up having to build the whole car in the street.
I have a
That's the
question
stuff
for
that-
Eric.
Yes.
Eric, when will you race Ian and Tony on a build?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm done building cars. I'm only working with the stuff we've already got.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, it'll be We'll do something. One of the cars, either the bubble top thing or see, Ian's Space Junkie was sold to a gentleman that I guess started the online poker challenge.
I can't believe you sold that car.
Yeah, well, the Junkie sits in a hangar in Vegas, in a private hangar, from what I know, with the Atomic Punk bubble top car.
Really?
The gentleman bought the Atomic Punk when my very good friend Aaron Grody from Cerro Gordo, Illinois, sold the car. He originally sold the car to a doctor in Texas. That car, the doctor, there was a fire by accident, and the doctor was like, that's it. Well, I guess the car went to Gas Monkey before Gas Monkey was on TV. And they repaired the car, sent it to Barrett Jackson auction that year. And we watched it. It was sold, went across the block at like 1:30 in the morning. And it was like, yeah, the money kind of left. But it got up there in price. It legitimized, a modern bubble top. And, there's money in these, there's value in these. It just so happens to be that the same guy owns both cars. And mine, I've been offered just stupid money for mine, and I won't sell it. I got next to nothing into it. And it sits in my garage for the most part, and I can go out there at night, flip the lights on, and that sucker's just there, and I catch it, and I just
When
love it.
can we go cruise that thing around Nashville?
Oh, well, next weekend I have a car show, or a bike show to go to. The weekend after that, I am taking off to be out in Ian's, out in Mojave, and after that, we're free. We're good.
All right, because I want to cruise Broadway and 2nd Avenue.
We're gonna go cruise Broadway and 2nd Avenue, apparently.
Bear Rose wants to know, how hot does it get in that bubble top?
Oh, geez. Okay, so there's a couple questions I always get asked. With the bubble top, if you're sitting in 90-degree heat at an intersection for a long period of time, open the bubble. It gets a little warm. There's no AC in it. It's a show car. The car is what it is. There's no seatbelts, mirrors, wipers. I don't even think it has it doesn't even have front turn signals on it. We die like men. It's fast enough to hurt you. It's a 440 strapped to a shopping cart. It rides like such. But it is a rocket, and
Avert my cameras. Oh, it's too late. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading.
Oh,
He's
no.
rolling a cigarette. They're saying avert the camera.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
oh,
Too
no,
late.
you're not supposed to be smoking, are you?
No, I could smoke, but if I roll a cigarette, it looks like I'm rolling a
Something
Oh, I
else.
see, I
And
see,
then
I see.
YouTube doesn't like
that
that.
YouTube doesn't like that, but that's okay. YouTube, that was a cigarette. Look,
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's just.
haven't
I can
used-
vouch. I can vouch
Tobacco,
for him.
right.
It is here. Let me see here.
I'm
Yeah,
using a
yeah,
new
yeah.
setup
Total,
here.
total.
The iPad is working, so I don't have to use my phone. Is the picture better? Should be. Let's see.
There's a lull in conversation every 7 minutes.
Is that it?
I think this is that lull.
This is not cigarette rolling advice.
let's all get quiet.
What's up, Franco? He says,
Franco!
"Hi, everybody."
Franco is my nitro brother
Cold
from
motor,
the
sure it is.
Northeast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fellow Northeasterner.
You spend time around fuel cars or alcohol cars?
Blown alcohol. Up in Massachusetts, I work for a private shop called the Bat Cave. A guy up there, Blair Smith, and Paul Zona.
I know Paul.
Yep. Zona runs the Danger Zone, and he also runs the clone copy body of the Boston Strangler that they did for Arnie Karp to surprise him when he was still with us. He became their crew chief. So we, under secrecy and threats of violence, we redid I want to say it was the Warhorse funny car body that actually raced against the Boston Strangler back in the day, but they were both Mustang 2 funny car bodies.
Okay.
So we restored the body to match, and Blair is an amazing painter and repainted the Boston Strangler on the car. So Blair ran that, Paul ran that, and then Blair ran the Boston Challenger funny car body, which was a 70 Challenger body. It was a modern funny car body. It was much lighter. The older ones, they're just thick. They just seem cooler.
Franco says those are Billy D's friends.
Billy D.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. The Northeasterner, I believe he runs that.
Nor'easter, yeah.
Yep. I've done a little bit of sanding on that body as well when it came in and it had a boo boo.
He's the most
Be nice.
psychotic person I've ever met.
Be nice.
No, that's not true. I've met a lot of psychos.
Yeah. No, you
Well,
can't just
I-
throw
Billy is
anybody
How
out.
do I put this? I was told that something of the similar when the car was there. Though, this is Billy D's. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. But,
Billy D has some interesting stories.
okay,
You
from
know
what
about
I've been
the
told.
whole overstate lines thing?
No, I didn't,
Oh,
didn't hear
okay.
that one. No.
All right, I'll tell you off.
Yeah,
Right.
some of the,
Right.
some of the drag racing stories you can't really share
You can't.
publicly because it just is what it is. Yeah.
Billy D is colorful.
I do remember there was a story once that the Winnebago, the giant ass Winnebago that Paul had, they have a double stack enclosed trailer, so both cars can fit in their body, the extra body, all that stuff, right? Well, they were coming back one night on one of the turnpikes, and something felt weird. So Paul goes and walks his ass all the way back to the back of the RV and looks out. The trailer hitch had come loose from the frame for the receiver, and it dropped, and it was on the ground. So there's picture Paul Zone in the back screaming to Blair, "Pull over now!" There are sparks everywhere flying and all this mayhem. They somehow got the thing back to Massachusetts in one piece. But I remember that the next, like, "Hey, what happened? We don't want to talk about it." Okay.
Glenn Nickerson says, UT, come up New England Dragway this summer for one of the nostalgia drags.
I haven't been to New England Dragway. The last time I was at New England Dragway, I had a booking agency, the World Funny Car Association.
Oh, geez, okay.
And I booked Bill D, Troy Ray, Bobby Lagana, Dale Creasy.
Okay.
A bunch of different.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like 8
The
different.
usual suspects.
Usual suspects
Yes.
in that. And we got rain. And Ryan Champagne wouldn't pay us the rain money. And it was, that was a whole, yeah. So that was the last time I was at. We used to race at New England Dragway all the time. We got booked in there at least twice a year, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Back when I was running around with Jerry Caminito and Bobby Lagana and all of those guys. But yeah, it's a great track, but the management.
I don't have much. I don't have much to say about it. I've never had dealings with that end of it. So yeah, unfortunately. But
That
times.
place and West Hampton Dragway.
Okay.
We had problems there too once.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, again with rain money, where we actually kidnapped
Do we
the
need to
manager.
go back up there? Kidding.
No, we kidnapped the
Tony,
manager.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah,
you're on YouTube.
and we made him take his mother's ATM card
Tony.
and go. You think I'm joking? That's how we got our rain money.
I've got a question for Eric. Does YouTube make it sustainable to build cool cars, or do you moonlight during the day?
Oh yes. I don't just do YouTube. I work. I'll do 50 hours a week.
He's just starting to do YouTube.
Yeah, like we used to do the Gearhead Underground videos, but it was like 7 or 8 years ago, and then I just kind of stopped and did my own thing. My partnership with my other partner in crime that did that with me kind of came to an end, and that was it. And so I just kind of did my own thing and just kept building stuff. So basically, yes, I work usually on average about 50 hours a week, and then the nights and weekends are my time, Saturdays mainly. Sundays are my wife's, so like even today I helped paint a hallway and painted trim work and got
Like you
showered
do,
and
Tony.
shaved, and here I am. Yeah, I know. I'm the total package, kids. But that's kind of the balance that I do. You know, I try to involve my wife and my son in as much as I can do in my life, and then when I have time, I build my stuff. But that's what I think makes my stuff a little different. I mean, everybody's like, well, I build different things. I make different things. I'm the unicorn. Everybody thinks you're the unicorn. We're all special, kids. We all get the big piece of corner cake with all the icing on it, all right? It just happens. But I do push for that, and I like the time, because I'll see guys that they'll do stuff and like, oh, this car was built in 8 months. Great. I'm glad you were able to motor through that and do that. Mine, if it it took me 5 years on and off. But the longer the time went, it was better for the car. And I enjoy that. And I always attack it with I don't have a budget for this. So how am I going to do this?
The journey is its own reward, and that's what so many people don't. That's what so many people don't understand about the car thing, right? It's like, okay, gotta get it done. No, you're missing the whole point about building a car.
Yeah.
Getting it done like
the
that.
trip is the thing, and
The finished product is always anticlimactic. It doesn't matter what you build. It's always anticlimactic. It's the journey to that is where the fun is.
once it's done, now you got this big shiny thing in your garage. What are you going to do with it?
That's besides the point. When you're building the car, right? Every night you go to bed and you're thinking about the bracket that you're going to make to pivot this piece of linkage off of that, okay? And these are the things that keep you busy. And when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you think of is, I got to order that piece to get this. And It's total mental involvement, the process of building the car. But then once the car is finished, what do you do?
Yeah.
It doesn't occupy your mind anymore. And it's like...
With me, it goes to the next thing.
The next car.
Like, when I was finishing up putting the last of the stuff on the lung, I was already in my head, the next show car will it's going to be called the Nog. And that was already in my head when I was finishing the lung.
Right.
And I've taken time off. I started the body, and then I put it in storage, kind of walked away. I had a design block in between the motor and the cowl to the front. And I just kind of put it away and sat on it. And then I kind of revisited it and came up with something. So now I'm going to get back into that car. But I enjoy the time in between. That, to me, is bleeding of stress, bleeding of stuff that people say it'll rent places in my head that I don't want. And it's therapy to me. That, to me, is I'm good after that. After a good night in the garage and getting to some point, I sleep like a baby. But if I'm stuck, I don't sleep. And I know that's a lot of car guys. That's a lot of people and a lot of builders that do that. Don't be in a hurry to try to impress the masses. The masses don't care. You're doing that for you. You're not doing it for anybody else.
Don't do it for you.
Take your time, enjoy it. It's a ride, man. It is all a ride. It's just a journey. Don't do it for other people. If other people dig it, great.
That's the difference between a hack job and a car, because when you're doing a car for money, you're doing it to flip, or you're doing it for a customer, you tend to just rush through things because time is money, right? And so things get, it starts out, I don't think anybody starts out saying, I am going to build a completely unsafe, rattle trap.
Yeah.
But what happens is
little things happen as you go, and then they build up to, now you got a problem.
Right. It's like stacking clearances.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's 1,000 here, that's no big deal. 2,000 here, that's no big deal. Next thing you know, it's like...
Yeah, okay, in my world, it's like, okay, if the metal... I like doing
Is
the
that yours or mine?
I think that's yours. There you go. There's no tip? Okay, fine. Usually there's a gratuity. Moving on.
Need metal sent you $2. He's got a question.
You car show guys are all the fucking...
You hear me? Need metal sent $2.
Thank you, Need Metal.
What's Eric's role at Herman's shop?
Oh, in Herman's shop, Paul's shop. Okay, Paul the Monster Herman, Body and Soul shop. He moved down here from Ohio a gazillion years ago.
Your uncle was still cooling, I believe.
Yeah. And, basically we both paint, we both do metal. I do a little more metal. I like making weird things out of all sorts of stuff, and we work off of one another really well. He has the old school practices down, and there's a formula, and I really like that because everything is a system. If the metal's not done right, don't put any filler on it, because that step is not complete. So that's the thing with this stuff. That's how you get off on a tangent too, where stuff gets bad. If you stay like, okay, I'm gonna start with metal. I'm gonna make this thing straight. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that to the best of my ability, so it's correct. Then when you go to do filler work, you're doing less filler work. Then if you're doing less filler work, now there's less filler, there's less things that can go wrong. Now it's straight. Now you're gonna prime it and leave all the 80 grit and 36 grit sand scratches in it, because it's gonna shrink. That's all gotta go away. So the car will get primed 2 or 3 times. Usually 3 times, 4 times, depending on the panel and how bad it is. But then it's perfect. So every step, you do not stop until that full process is done to the extreme point, to the point you're batty over it. Then you move on to the next one. And that's how that's how a good car becomes a great car. But that's how you stop the hacking or the I'll get it on the next step. The step that you're on is the most important step, no matter what. When that's over,
it's living in the moment.
Yes.
You have to be in the moment, and the moment is that piece of work that you're working on, not the finished product, but the actual...
Yeah,
you
just
have to have
that
the
piece.
vision of the finished product,
Yeah.
but you can't...
You kind of need tunnel vision,
Tunnel vision.
is I guess the best way to explain it. And that's, All right, questions, I guess, because I'm
Questions.
going to fall off this soapbox here,
Challenge your
sorry.
super minds. Okay. Caleb Parker says he wants me to tell you that tell Tony that his video from the other day really inspired me to give YouTube a shot as something fun to do.
Excellent.
As a future source of passive income. I feel like I can do it.
Yeah.
You get a few hundred videos up, you would be amazed.
A few hundred. It takes time.
It takes time. It takes time.
Don't give up. Just,
But remember, every day somebody
on.
is searching for the thing that you put out there. You know, they're not searching for you per se, but if you do a video, if I do a video on short Craftsman screwdrivers, there's somebody out there that's searching Craftsman screwdriver, and they're going to come across your video, and guess what? You get paid for that.
Yeah.
So there's like passive income that just keeps. So, but you got to take your time and just one step at a time. Don't get
so
impatient.
I
Colton
know-
is asking a question related. Could you give some advice for people who are just starting to make YouTube videos?
Well, you're better at this than me when it comes to
I'm much better than
much gooder than this than him. I try to, like, the videos that I'm in or part of, I just try to be honest, try to be true to it,
Yeah.
try to be true to me, and you know, if people like it, great, you know, and I think that's kind of comes through with you as well. You know, you're you.
I don't try to be
And
anybody else.
It's the easiest thing to be. It's the easiest thing to, you know, everything. It just, if you're true to you, everything else will
Do
kinda fall
stuff
around.
that you enjoy. Do stuff. Don't do videos for other people. Do videos for yourself. You know. And be enthusiastic. Like I can explain it to you. You know, you don't have to be doing enthusiastic, jumping out of your skin. Yay! Look what I did. You know. No. But it has to be something that you get jazzed over. Something that, you know, it captures your attention, right? You know, and that's what you want to make videos over or about or around. You see what I'm saying? And just keep doing that, and other people will plug into that. They'll get it. You know what I mean? Enthusiasm is contagious. You know, what's that other word? Not just enthusiasm, but
Excitement, expertise, not even expertise.
No, not
Excitement,
expertise.
just the, I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm
I-
tongue-tied right now.
I can't.
Lying?
Chris Greenaway
Assistant
says
needs
the
to be-
best YouTubers are the honest people who crank their personality to 11.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to
pretty much.
try and use your personality a little bit.
DD Speed Shop. Dan is fantastic at that. The problem. The only problem with Dan is that he's not good enough for Danny, his girlfriend. Okay, that's the only problem
That's
with
a
him.
problem.
But
Should have loved that.
but he's one of those people that is just so down to earth and just so sincere in what he does. That's why he's got the kind of following he
I've
does.
never met the guy, but
Yeah.
all I can say is if he's not good enough for Danny,
No, he is not good enough for
okay,
Danny.
just
No.
start, you know, comb his hair, wash his butt more.
He's
I
a
don't know.
hippie freak. He's got hair. They call him a hot rod Jesus. You know.
You know what's funny? The guys that are really off the wall,
Yeah.
I tend to connect to more because there's something short in there,
Yeah.
and I love it. Because on other aspects, they're intelligent as all hell, and they see things and they catch things that not everybody
from a
sees.
different-
Yeah, from
yeah.
a different perspective,
Yep.
completely. And I love that part of it. So yeah, I have a friend that's up in Ohio, Kevin Finger. Well, Kevin, yeah, I won't say his last name, but his nickname's Fingers. He used to be known as Buffy. Well, Buffy is a 6'4" redhead, skinnier than a rail, and a giant gray afro poof. He was a redhead. And he builds choppers and mid controls and everything. He's just a great dude. He's funny. He's got these giant thick Coke bottle glasses, and the guy's he's been a biker his whole life. And he's amazing. He's just fun as all get.
See, I don't do stuff like that. Custom, you know, like I'm not from that world, but I love watching that world. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I have no desire to really build custom cars or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
there's a lot of artwork. There's lowbrow stuff. I'm not a pinstripe fan. I just never have.
But I
There's-
love watching people do pinstriping. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
into it,
yeah.
but you know what? I can sit for an hour and watch somebody, you know, actually.
Yeah. There's one guy. He's French, and I actually have a tattoo on my arm because I kind of helped him with getting his permanent work visa over here. He's a painter from France, and he does. He'll incorporate gold leaf and silver leaf and variegated leaf with his lines, and it's just jazz. I ain't seen anybody do anything that different with pinstripe since Dutch.
Okay.
Straight up. And I'm not a pinstripe fan, but at one point he was trying to get a permanent work visa and he had to go back over to France because his visa ran out. He had to refile all the paperwork and I had to fill out this thing for professional reference. And we ended up, he got his work visa to be here. And so he's in Vegas, and amazing painter. His name's Remo. You can look him up. Remo's art is, you can look him up and find him. But I got a tattoo. I'll show you. I don't know if we can show that. That was his thing. F.U. Remo was his typical thing when everybody saw him. So in helping him become, get closer to becoming a citizen here, I got a tattoo for my little French buddy. It's got the little mustache, and he's all about, oh, you're American women. I'm like, you sad, sick little man. But there's a lot of art guys and a lot of lowbrow art guys and a lot of painters that are in the custom world that we can talk. I kind of relate to them a little bit more.
Did you ever meet Von Dutch?
No. I've met people that have known him, and some really neat stories. Actually, I have a cool story about Von Dutch. Dennis Roth is Ed Roth's son, or one of his sons. Little Daddy Roth does Metal Flake and all that stuff, okay? Well, growing up, the Roth family didn't have a swimming pool at their house, okay? So they would go over to Dutch's when Dutch was in California. He had a swimming pool. He also had an ice cream maker, old school ice cream maker. So what they'd do is he'd load, Ed Roth, Big Daddy, would load the car up with all the Roth kids. There was like 5 of the little bastards all over the place, sorry for the language. And they would load them in the car, take them over to Von Dutch's, and they'd go swimming in his pool. And then they'd make ice cream.
Okay.
Then Von Dutch was friends with Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen kept a Panzer tank and Von Dutch's property from The Great Escape. So the Roth kids would go swimming in Von Dutch's pool, make ice cream at Von Dutch's, and then go in the backyard and go knock down trees and shrubs in Steve McQueen's Panzer tank from The Great Escape.
Stuff like that doesn't happen anymore.
Come on. I mean, Dennis grew up, he was Alice in Wonderland of the car world.
Right.
When that stuff hit, huge.
I've never met him, but I've seen him on a lot of videos and whatnot, and he just seems like such a genuine guy.
He's crazy.
Like he's the best ambassador he could possibly be.
Yeah,
for
he's
his
the
followers.
only dude I let call me brah. I'm not a bro. I don't care for brah, but he's the only dude that I don't give the stink eye to when he's like, you know what I mean, brah? I'm like, yeah, I do.
So you're kicking off your channel, the Gearhead Underground.
Yeah, just kind of when I work with Paul, we have a kind of a set thing, and I'm a little more out there than Paul. So I figured with the Nog and everything, with the next build that I'm doing, it might be a better way to just put stuff onto that channel and kind of show that and keep it separate from the body and soul shop. Because what we're doing over there, it's mostly customer cars and stuff like that. So this was just a thing to just somewhere that I can post my weirdness. So some of my videos, they're going to be technical stuff. While I'm doing things, I'll show people, if somebody wants to chime in and say, hey, how do you do this? I'll do a video of it. You want to know how to do lead work? I'll show you how to do lead.
So basically, when you're getting started, you're going to take requests from...
Yeah, because a lot of my stuff, like when we did the underground stuff, it was kind of established a little bit. So what we did back before, we would do little 20-second videos. Okay. And they don't really, through an algorithm, 20-second videos really don't do much. It doesn't even,
right? Well, it's a short now.
Yeah.
Which they didn't have shorts when you were doing that.
So it just kind of, but that's kind of what we did. We'd have an idea while we were working, we'd stop, film.
That's a brilliant idea.
And delete it off our phone so we had more room, and then go back to work.
That's actually a great idea. I gotta think about this.
Oh, okay.
Because we could take requests and don't have to make a whole video out of it. Just make a short.
Yeah.
Just a 20-30 second video.
Bubble blowing, metal, basically panel development. The aluminum smith that I'm working with now, Mike Stenson, he's an amazing. He can do layout like nobody's business, and go off of. He doesn't even do we use tape measures. And the Sharpie markers that are the real fine tip. Like when I do metal work on customs, I use a regular Sharpie. Go in 99 cents, big Sharpie marker, mark the line, there you go. Aluminum stuff, all your panels to TIG everything has to be tight. Right. We flame weld aluminum. You want to know how to flame weld aluminum? I'll do an aluminum video how to flame weld. But everything has to be within tolerances of tightness. And then once it's welded, you have to go in and planish that weld out flat before you grind it to put the panel back. So you can make this perfect panel in like a dashboard for a pulling tractor, right? You weld it all up, well, it's gonna move it. So now you gotta straighten it all back out. And it's just it's so super hard, but it's so much fun because it's such a challenge. But stuff like that, I don't mind showing.
I gas welded aluminum once.
Yeah,
I was obsessed with the idea. I was in my late 20s, right? Mm-hmm. And I just really started to get into the funny car thing at that point. And Nick Bonifant, you know Nick?
I don't think so, but
He would be in part of that whole Billy D circle.
okay.
And he was telling me how Jungle used to be able to gas weld aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is a skill I need to know only because this is something Jungle could do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay. It's one of those. Yeah, if that guy can do
If
it,
that guy can
clearly
do it,
I can.
I can do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I remember spending a week trying to get. I was welding a piece of seat together. I was building a funny car chassis in my garage.
Okay.
And I spent a whole week trying to get a seam, and I can't tell you how much aluminum. I was done, it was
How many puddles you make?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did it. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it was ugly, but I did it.
I was told. I'm gonna do a little name drop here. I was shown how to flame weld by Winfield.
Okay.
And I kind of cursed him a little bit when I got done because I'm like, thanks a lot. Now I got something else I got to master. Because I would do it and I'd be like, I'm going, yeah, I'm going. And all of a sudden I can't inchworm the filler rod down. So I have to like hold it up here and kind of go in. And as you're getting down, now your torch is going and it's getting hot. And you're like, I'm not stopping because I'm going. And then all of a sudden, puddle, you know. But it happens.
She'll say, I was a gas welder for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my fingers were always burned. I mean, just always. Just scabs falling
Just that
off.
little bit more. Come on.
You blow a nail off.
I'll give you a quick hint with aluminum, right? If you're gonna take gas weld.
No, I'm never gonna try it again.
Okay. We'll say this edge, right? So you got your torch. You're doing okay. So you got your torch. Point. You say you're gonna go that way. So
Right.
you're gonna take your flame. You're going this way, right? So you're doing your filler rod. You get to about 4 or 5 inches at the end. You start turning that torch up and get it off the sort of off the panel.
Okay.
Because the heat is gonna transfer in a certain speed that by the time you're about here.
Oh, geez.
Finishing, that torch is off the panel and you're actually using the heat sink from the aluminum filtering off the end and you're filling rod. Because if you go to the end, you're just going to puddle that 4 inches right off.
All right, so now I'm having a flashback to like 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where
That's what happened.
That was
You
exactly
turn the
it.
torch up, man, because that heat is going to walk. Because you can take that aluminum, that 3003 aluminum, and watch it just cook and bake as you're going. And as long as you turn that sucker up and just like, and you're literally filler rodding the last couple inches, there's no heat, there's no torch on it. What's even scarier, Winfield wears a green lens. You can't see the burst in the torch, but from muscle memory, he knows exactly what he's doing and the temperature. It's crazy to watch. Muscle memory is an amazing thing.
I know it is.
I love it. But that's just something he just over the time he can just hear.
What-
It's like
what
right.
you
It's like
just
signing your
showed
name.
there was the exact problem.
Problem.
I was
Okay.
having.
Well, that's how you fix that. So yeah.
Need Metal sent $2.
Thank you.
He
Again.
wants to know, how do you survive doing custom work?
How do I survive? Well, for a long time, I bounced in between custom work and collision work, and finally, I made the jump at one point to full collision work or full custom work. Early on, it is a struggle. You have to want it, and at the time, I didn't even have a set direction. I knew that I didn't want to repair minivans, and I was a heavy guy. I was a flat rate tech. You could. Bad year I'd make 70 grand, good year I'd make 100. And that was just kind of how that went. On top of that, you're building custom cars too. There's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of tiredness, and at some point you finally get your skill up to the point like you look at something or look at a task or a damaged area on something, you're like, I got this, I can do this. And when you get to that point, you can just look at a vehicle, whatever, be it wrapped around a pole or rotted out or cut in half or something, or paint's bad or body's bad, and you know exactly the process and the steps you have to do to rectify that problem, that's when it's time to make your jump.
It's not exactly what you're talking about, but what you're talking about is what fouls most people up when they're getting into the hobby, when they're going to attack a car project, because you have to have been through a couple of few builds before you can look at a car and say, so for instance, you look at a car and you say, well, it's got some rust in the frame rail, right? You have to have been through that job or that process a couple of times to know, well, it's not just that. And you can't just work on that because you can't access it, so the quarter's got to come off.
Yes,
and that part of the floor's got to come out.
And now, and then if it's a front rail, can you slip it in with the motor and trans still in it? Most times, no.
Right.
So there's
But you know what I'm saying, though? In terms
you have
of
to
a
map
project,
it out.
Right,
Yeah,
in terms of a project, people say, oh, I can do that. But unless you've been through it a couple of times, and you have to be able to look at a car. That's how you know that you're proficient at something, and
Yes.
you can actually start making a living at it.
Yes.
When you could just look at it and see it apart and see all of the steps that it's going to take to put it back together again.
The other end of it, that the best advice I can give about all of this in terms of the custom world, or really any skill or trade or profession that you're going to do, search out the people that have done it. Don't listen to people that haven't, because that's the biggest deterrent. Because you're going to get a lot of stuff and a lot of guys going, "Oh, you can't do that. Oh, those guys that do that, they got money in this stuff." Man, I'm not made of money. I do this on the cheap, brass tacks. I have in the past been offered stupid money for the lung. God's honest truth, I have $5,000 hard cash into the lung. That's it. I could have thrown more money at it. I could have chromed out the front end more and everything. But on the same note, that car looks accessible to anybody. And that's kind of what I wanted too. I wanted to show the craftsmanship of what I could do at that point. But I wanted to keep it accessible enough that anybody could come up and look at it and go, well, it's not all chromed out, so there's not like a $10,000 chrome bill on it. It doesn't have the biggest and baddest little mini battery in it.
Right.
It's got a good battery in it, but it doesn't have like the little gel filled guy in the back or anything. Like if I got to change a battery, radiator's got to come out, axle's got to come out, fuel tank's got to come out, fans, all of it, because it's all in the back. But it's don't listen to people that haven't been to where you want to go, because their advice isn't. It's a hard thing to do.
Well,
to listen to.
It's the forum mentality. The
Yeah.
people on the forums. Very few people who actually do this stuff end up on forums. It's most people who wish they did this stuff, or they may have done one or two, and now they're self-proclaimed experts, and they just spew advice.
Yes. Yeah. Or I was something made sense. I was told this at one point that it made a lot of sense. It goes, for the most part, I'm not exactly an expert. I just ADD to the max. So I have to know what information I come across or some type of thing. I have to know everything about it. So I'm not totally proficient in everything, but I'm just dangerous enough to get, to do what I need to do. And everybody thinks I'm great or an expert at this, but it's just however you monkey the thing around to get it to work and get your shape that you want. There's no real bad answer or no wrong way.
You see, what you just said about the whole ADD thing, because I'm ADD, borderline autistic. It's just, but part of that is that hyper focus, and I'm one of these people that if I'm going to work on an alternator, let's just say, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to know just how to fix the alternator. I want to know the whole history of this alternator. When was it first built? For what application? How did it evolve over the years? What was it replaced by? What was its shortcomings? What were the good parts? And so I will take that part that I'm working on, a fuel pump, a piston, whatever it happens to be, it doesn't make a difference. And I will research the entire history. And I want to know the person who designed this part. What else did they design?
Yeah.
And it's like this rabbit hole of research.
Oh
that I go down
Where
into.
did the thing come from? Where I got into this weird thing too, kind of like through doing custom cars and stuff. There's guys all over the world that do this. I'm friends with people in Australia that do this stuff. I'm friends with people in Japan that do this stuff that not everybody's heard of, but you see them. There are people in Indonesia that build weird ass bikes and motorcycles and stuff like that. I'm friends with him. There's a guy over there in Indonesia, and I don't know his name, but he started doing chipped carbon fiber and Kevlar. The Kevlar would be colored. The carbon fiber would be blue or black, but they're chipped, and he would do lay resin over tanks and fenders and do the throw this chip stuff, it's 1 inch shredded carbon fiber on it, and pat it all down and just keep burying it until it was smooth and sanding it until it's smooth. And you look at it, and it's just this amazing paint texture, and it's totally smooth. He clear coats over.
But you look at it,
but he can
and it
do
looks
paint.
like
He can hide candies in it and put flake in it. He's doing amazing work. But I love the fact that social media I was able to find that guy, or he found me, and see what he does, and just all of that. Like, where did you get your start? And he got a start from an iPhone that he got his hand, an iPhone 4. And got on Facebook and started looking at people's stuff and just started copying it. And he's just, most of the stuff is little shop. It's a dirt floor and everything. And he does this amazing paint work. And I love that because that fuels everything. Like I actually looked up and saved chipped carbon fiber and Kevlar in my thing, and I may do something with it on something at some point. But I love that. I love there's people all over the place, and the how they got started and what they know, and what is their kick, what is their rabbit hole, where do they go down, what is their train of thought, what is their thought process, and I love that because every new custom guy or guy that makes something that I meet. Where'd you get your start? What did you do? What did you, how did you get to here? And the stories are amazing.
The Japanese guys always amaze me.
Oh, God, yes.
They are they've got American car culture, or the
Yes.
nuances of
But
American car culture.
They have a tradition of you do what you're going to do, you do it to the best of your ability, no matter what.
Right.
No matter what it is, and that you can't replace that. And I know it's instilled in them at an early age, and to see them continue that, even in something that, like, okay, Japanese guys that have tattoos, they can't go in a public pool.
I know that.
Yeah, it's frowned upon because they're covered in tattoos. They're considered, we're low class.
Oh, I always thought so.
But yeah, it just is what it is. Low life is my life. But stuff like that. But they take it to the extreme, to the point that they dedicate their craft to their lives, and knowing that over there the culture is kind of frowned upon that. Not so much the creativity that they make, but the way that they dress or try to look like us, kind of thing, like with the tattoos and everything, and just the hot rod culture of getting in the car, open top, and just blasting down the road. And they take that and the work that they do. I love it. There's a couple guys out there that there's a car out there now that it was an old Buick that he cut up. It transports his motorcycle, drives in the back, things all in airbags. He customed all the grill and everything. It's just amazing car, amazing metalwork. And he just kept going with it, and it's beautiful.
What we got going on over there?
Oh, sorry about that.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. They're talking to each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's talking to each other.
We still have people left.
Oh, yeah, you do. You still have like 300 people left.
No, hey,
Yeah,
rock and
you
roll.
good? Let's see.
Yeah, we didn't mean to ignore you guys. It's just
Yeah, sorry about that.
we start yapping.
No, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Did Japan tattoo stigma because they used to mark criminals with them?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah. And then also there's a certain criminal entity over there that was their suit.
Now you see, from like the culture that I come from, you don't have tattoos because it's identifiable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No identifiable
I
markings.
grew up and learned a bunch of stuff from guys just like you.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Abel D says, have you met Victor, Ian's client, the master of change
That
orders?
guy is awesome. That guy is awesome.
No, I have not met Victor, but last time we were out there when we did the Demon, we had to go into Compton to get the steel rings that we used. We had steel rings bent that we used to cut up to make the Blue Demon chassis. It is out of 3/8 thick, 2-inch wall box. It is.
How'd you bend that?
We didn't. We had a shop in Compton that did it. They do movie set production stuff and everything else like that. So when we were out going to get that, and on our way back, we drove past Victor's greenhouse and everything, a nursery on the highway. I don't even know what I think we were on the 405 or something like that. I'm not 100% certain. But as we're driving back, he goes, "Oh yeah, there's Victor's," and we're just sitting there driving, right? And we're driving for a couple minutes, and he's like, "Okay, so that's the end of Victor's property," because you would see like his greenhouse, and then a side road, because it would dead stop to the highway. So Victor had a bunch of stuff that Ian had built up on pedestals, kind of at the end of his property, facing the highway. There's this big sculpture, the Boonie bus is there. There's a couple other things there that are on permanent display there. And we're driving, and it's a couple minutes. Like, yeah, that's all Victor's, that's all Victor's, that's all Victor's, that's all, and that's the end of Victor's. Oh my God!
That's amazing.
But yeah.
I love that guy. He's just so.
Oh yeah. He knows what he wants.
He knows what he wants.
Until he changes his mind.
Right, exactly.
So that's all real.
What's that?
That's all real.
Yeah, that's all real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so to reiterate, Ian, what you see on TV, that is Ian. And Victor, from what I've been told, is the same way. What you see is these guys, it's just their personality. There's no real fake TV drama or anything really going on that thing. And that's what keeps it real. And that's why I agreed to be part of it. Because There's no BS. There's no drama. There's nothing. It's just we're out here to build, and this is gonna happen. We're gonna have some fun. And I will say this: I did get to drive the Pinoceptor before it was sold, and I drove it after David Letterman drove it.
Really?
Yeah.
Roll a cigarette, Tony.
Oh yeah, look, I'm not rolling a, it's not a joint.
Well, now that you said
I
that.
don't smoke that stuff. Well, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Please hold.
Right. Are you done, Tony?
Yes, I'm done.
We need elevator
I'm
music.
15, and what is this?
What?
Tobacco. Tony rolls his own cigarettes.
I can vouch.
Regular tobacco.
It's just tobacco.
Okay, Colton says, I'm 15 and have no money. Could I make YouTube work?
You know, it's a funny world.
You never know.
Yeah. Ian was telling me at one point, because he had started a channel because people were like, when are the new episodes coming out? When are the new episodes coming out? So he's like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. I guess a friend of theirs, him and Jamie, one of their friend's daughters used to be on Nickelodeon or something like that. And she just started doing YouTube videos, and they're multimillionaires. So, I mean, really anything's possible. I mean, it is a stream of income. I mean, I guess it can be, you know.
There's a lot of luck involved. I mean, to be honest with you.
You need to do something, I guess, that people are gonna they're gonna find value in. Tony made a really good point, and it kind of stuck with me. He uses it as a search engine, and it's a tool. It's just another tool.
That's what people don't understand about YouTube, right? People think right away that YouTube is an entertainment platform, but it's not. YouTube is a search engine that just happens to have entertaining content. So you have to, if you want to be successful with YouTube, you have to approach it as what are people searching for. And you see, you're not going to make money off, okay, unless you're like Whistle and Diesel. So Whistle and Diesel can put out a video, get 4 million views, make himself, $600,000, $700,000 on a thing, and move on to the next. And that's awesome, but that's one in a billion, right? For the most part, to make money with YouTube is you need a library of material. So you want to have things that people are going to search. So you don't worry about the video you're putting out today. The video you're putting out today means nothing. It may not get views for 6 months. It may not get views for a year. We've had videos that we did 3 years ago, right? They got like 4,000 views, 8,000 views when we put it out, okay? And then you go back and you look at it, and it's like it flatlines, and it does nothing for a year, nothing for a year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden, boom, it gets caught up in, like the Google crawler finds it, it associates it with other search terms, and then next thing you know, that video that you did 3 years ago, you completely forgot you even did, is getting, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views a day, and it'll do that until it has like 1 million views. We've had that happen.
Yeah. It could be random. I mean, my son's 16 now. When he was younger, he wanted to be a hockey player. Then he wanted to be a football player. Well, if everyone wants to do a YouTube, that's fine, but you have to have something to offer.
Yes.
And
value. You have to offer
search,
something of value.
And don't copy what everybody else is doing. Just search whatever feels right to you. Be true to you.
Right.
Because it'll be easier and the ideas will come a little more natural. I mean, I grew up watching like Jackass videos.
Yeah, so did I.
I mean, that stuff was all on Can't Kill Yourself or whatever that was with Bam and them, and I don't mean to mention those names, but but I grew up and that was what people were posting like to YouTube, so I took it as entertainment. As you get older and start realizing, like, truth be told, I taught myself how to do lead work off of YouTube. I searched it out and figured out how to do it, and then I got the acid test because. Fast forward, I found myself sitting next to Gene Winfield doing lead work next to him. Letting a door next to Gene Winfield that, him and Hines basically set the stage for all that stuff. And he looks over at me and goes, I like your tin pattern. It's nice. It's a big spread. And I was a puddle on the floor. And here's this guy that, brought this stuff, he didn't invent it, but brought it to the mainstream and used it for years to make his career. And he looks over and I learned this stuff off of YouTube. And he looks over and goes, I like what you did. I'm like, I didn't know what to do with myself at that point. So, I mean, it is information you can search on there. It is a tool. It is a search engine. Absolutely.
Two stories.
No,
Real
no,
quick.
go ahead. Go.
We were. I was Bob Milligano. I was partners on a top fuel car with him, and we were at Bristol. This is 92, 93. I don't remember.
Okay.
But we it was last ditch qualifying. You get 3 runs in an IHRA event. Garlis had a problem with 2 of his runs.
Okay.
So he had one last shot Saturday night to get in the show.
Okay.
Right. Well, we made a run and actually put Garlis on the trailer.
Okay.
We didn't race Garlis, but the fact is that because we made it in the show, he did.
He bumped.
Right?
Yeah, he got bumped. Yeah.
So I'm standing on the starting line, right? So I see the time pop up. I'm like, right, and I'm like, oh shit, that's amazing. And I feel like going like this.
Oh no.
Nice job, kid. It was Chris Carmesini's.
Oh shit. Okay.
That was the greatest moment of my entire life.
Yeah, at that point you're a puddle. You're like, I don't know what to do with my hand. I don't know.
What do you say?
I'm
right?
done. I could poof away, and the universe can just have me now. Whatever. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I need to stop right now because it doesn't get any
It's
better
not
than
like
that.
a man crush, but it's like, oh, he just said, yeah, okay, yeah, yep.
Nice job, kid.
You know, yeah, absolutely.
So the other thing, you're talking about Jackass, right? And we're talking about tattoos.
Yeah.
So 1998, or 1999, I don't remember, right? Okay. A motorcycle crash. Oh, I'm just destroyed from head to toe, right?
Okay.
And I'm zonked on pain pills. All my friends, I didn't believe in doctors, right? So whenever I would get hurt, my friends would just bring over whatever drugs they had. So I had this.
I'm imagining that phone call, the phone call chain. He did it again. What do you got? Yeah, all right. We'll just put it in the bag, bring it over.
My friend John
We're taking a
Bertone-
collection.
My friend John Bertone actually made me a trophy at one point, right? He had like a golf trophy, and he broke the arms and the legs off. I had crashed so many motorcycles.
Here you go, buddy.
He made me a trophy with broken arms and legs. So anyway, I'm on painkillers, lots and lots of painkillers. And I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching Jackass, okay? And I'm on crutches, I get cast and everything, and I'm all beat up. And I'm missing a tooth. Right?
Okay.
Okay, but the tooth that I'm missing, and that's actually a trophy.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's like tell you the story on camera. But
Well, it's
anyway,
ivory. I mean,
well, you know what I'm saying. So Jackass, the beginning of the show, it's the skull with the crossed crutches.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's missing the same tooth that I had, right? And at the time now, this was like my 3rd motorcycle crash in like 2 years. So I was on crutches constantly. And I'm sitting there in my altered state watching this, and I said, they're talking to me, I gotta get that tattooed. So I got up, and so I said, I get it up on my upper shoulder, so it's like from wearing, nobody can ever see it, right?
Yeah.
So I went to every tattoo artist, bonked out of my gourd, right? I went to every tattoo artist on Staten Island. I lived in Staten Island at the time.
Yeah.
Couldn't find a single person that could do it like freehand.
Oh,
You got to bring me the artwork. Oh, fuck. And then naturally, all of the pain pills wore off the next day, and I was like, I don't really need that.
Yeah. You got bounced, my friend.
I got bounced.
There's a sign on tattoos, most tattoo shops. No colors, no booze, no drugs. You gotta be straight to do this. Yeah, you got bounced. Sorry. But yeah, it happens.
I was young.
I have a friend up in Milltown Inc. Tattoo place up there, and when I would drive, I lived in Buffalo, New York at the time, and I would drive out to Massachusetts every I'd be out there for 2 weeks at a time, and I would drive out, or a week at a time, and I'd drive out. Well, Friday nights on my way home, I would stop there, and he did pinball machines too. He bought an old post office, the Bonneville post office, and so half of it was his tattoo shop, the other half was like a play shop. So you go into this room through the beads, you go in, and it's all black light, and there's pinball machines everywhere, and he put subwoofers in all the pinball machines. So I played F-14 Tomcat fighter. Tom Williams designed this game, all right? And it's a Russian the whole time doing nothing but talking smack about you as you're losing, like, try again, comrade, you die today, and all this stuff. And it was in a subwoofer, so it would like boom at you. So I go up there, get tattooed, eat dinner, drink some beer, get browbeat by Russian on a pinball machine, spend the night, get up the next morning, and drive the rest of the way home. And I did that forever. But tattoo machines and pinball machines. That's where it's at. You want to find good peace in your mind, get tattooed and play pinball.
There you go.
That's all I can say. Yeah.
Words of advice.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Get a problem, go get tattooed and pinball. I don't know. Usually when kids get in and out of the bubble top at shows and stuff, they're like, wow, did you have fun? Yeah, that was cool. And they're sitting there, I'm like, all right, listen, kids. Don't listen to your parents, get tattoos, don't eat your vegetables, get a puppy, run away, join the circus, hot rod. And their parents would be like, ugh, jaw on the floor. I'm like, am I doing okay? And they're like, yeah, sure. And kind of go. Oh, well. Moving on. I try to be nice.
What do we got going
I have
on
a
over
mechanical
there?
question.
Commander
Yeah, sure,
Kathy?
please.
Okay, so they want to know the last video you did with the leaf spring clamping.
Okay, yeah.
You spoke of a couple videos ago, help with one wheel peel. Would that help with one wheel peel?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
Adding a leaf or two to the passenger side rear and running an air shock on the passenger side rear will almost, if you've got it tuned correctly, if you got the right amount of air in there on the passenger side, yeah, you could almost completely eliminate one wheel peel. It's just a matter of preloading the rear so that it doesn't
You're
lift
trying
that.
to you're trying to steer the flex of the vehicle in your favor,
Yes,
which is trying to keep that wheel on the ground as long as possible.
yeah, and as long as that wheel stays evenly, tracked, it'll spin posi.
You know, like I'm not a scales guy or anything like that with race cars. I don't know race car setup. I know there's scales involved, and I know guys try to put a lot of weight on that back wheel or both back wheel. You know, at the back of the car, you get
Right,
altereds and stuff like that. But I know with some of the other motorsport stuff, if you can get the flex out of the vehicle, it means you have direct contact at all times. And that's, kind of what you want to do. Or at least was from what I'm told, and he's nodding his head yes, so that's validation that I need, I guess. Rock and roll.
I'm only here to validate.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, Tony, do you have any tattoos?
No,
No, Charles.
No, he
tattoos?
showed up, he got bounced out all the tattoo places, all looped up on gumballs.
that one time.
Yeah, one time, just one time.
No, the culture where I come from is no identifiable markings. You're not supposed to have identifiable markings.
I have no tattoos either.
Yes, but you're a chick.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Let's see. You don't want to see UTG tattoo. Does it say UTT on your rear? UTG?
On my rear?
No, it doesn't.
No, why? I mean, that can be arranged.
I have a barcode for my Campbell's soup label.
Do you really?
Yeah. 95 cents on a scanner at Kroger.
I wonder if that'll actually scan. Did you try it?
I never tried it. I should at some point, but something about hanging my butt out at a Walmart at 3 a.m. just seems not, I mean, it's something I would do, but
You gotta
I just
go.
haven't
You
done
gotta go
it.
to like Home Depot or someplace like that that has the remote scanners.
Yeah, and just like
just see what it comes up as.
yeah, I'll buy me. I'd buy me. Absolutely.
Charles says yes, same. No tattoos. Too many stories from World War II guys talking about enemy making. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna read that.
Yeah, but yeah, they,
I'm not reading the rest of that.
I grew up down the street from a Vietnam vet. He was the same way, no tattoos. He was an Army Ranger. He's like, yeah, no tattoos, no marks, no nothing. I'm like, okay.
Nothing you
Right
can be
around.
identified with.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's gotta be a New York thing.
It is a New York thing. It's an Italian thing.
Is it? Okay.
Well,
and a
when we were
Jewish
growing
thing.
up, they were illegal too in New York.
Well,
Tattoos
Jewish,
were
it's a
illegal.
cultural. It's a religious thing.
Yeah, you're made a certain way, and that's that. But yeah. Hey, you buy a Camaro, what do? You put pipes and wheels on it and stuff, and that's kind of,
Yeah.
I'm not a Camaro.
Oh, I'm not down on it.
I
by
mean, I'm
any
more like
stretch
a
of the
Vega
imagination.
than a Camaro more than anything myself personally, but whatever.
Vegas are much cooler.
Well,
than
that's why I got all
Camaros, gotta tell
tattoos
you.
on me. I gotta make this thing look good. I mean, this is a face for radio.
Hemi Head says he's late. May I ask who this gentleman is with Tony?
Oh,
Tell them who you are.
okay.
And what you do.
I'm
Real
Eerie
quick.
Eric. I build custom cars for a living. I do the really weird stuff. So bubble tops,
Weird stuff.
weird stuff,
Yeah.
and I like the weird. I've built a lot of I could say normal show cars and stuff for people, and I love it. It pays the bills and stuff, and then it allows me to do
To get weird.
really
weird.
And that's a freedom that I've worked and strived for a long time, and it's been here for the last 10 years or so, and I enjoy it fully.
His best known car is called the Iron Lung.
Yep, you can Google it.
But you can Google that, just Google Iron Lung.
Iron Lung bubble top, and
Right.
It's there.
And he's just starting his own YouTube channel called The Gearhead Underground. So you can go over there and give him a free sub.
There'll be some videos on. There's a couple videos on it now, but I gotta put more up there. It's kind of a new thing, just to show off some of the weirdness. We also have one for the Body and Soul Shop.
Yes, the Body and Soul
It
Shop.
is up and going. You can watch that. There's a bunch of videos on that with me and Paul, the Monster Herman.
You know what I like about you? You're the opposite of Kiwi.
Okay.
Like my viewers all know Kiwi.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And Kiwi's like he does very refined work, right? Like he's building a fastback Mercury Cougar.
Oh, cool.
Right now,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
And he does these subtle sort of like he'll take a Mustang, right? And he'll cut the whole car apart, and then put it back together in such a way that you can't tell it was ever taken apart.
That's the best part.
But all the modifications are just so subtle. Like he'll just blend this, and he'll bulge the fenders a little bit, and he'll drop. But you'll never know that he did anything. So he does everything in a very, very refined
It
and
just accentuates what's already there.
Yeah, he's a real artist.
I like those guys.
And you're the exact opposite.
Yeah, but I like that too.
Right.
So
when
when
there's
it, you know,
crossover,
yeah,
he would
oh,
like
yeah.
what you do.
Yeah,
You know?
But
But it's ironic that I'm just I'm a motorhead, and I surround myself with
yeah,
body
yeah.
guys.
Hi.
I don't know what that is.
Hi.
Hi.
No, whenever I move to a different state or whatever, I do the same thing. I find the biggest, baddest mechanic I can. Be like, you're the guy that's getting the phone call. Lucky you. And I've fixed a lot of mechanics' cars and metalwork, and like, hey, can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. And it's a neat trade-off. I don't have the money to send it to a mechanic shop and be like, here, I need this entire thing wired, but I can always seem to find a mechanic that's got a car that needs floors and quarters and the telephone pole taken out of it.
I may have a car or two that could use some love.
He's got character though. But yeah. I love the dirt with the hole. It's the whole dart.
That's Plan Z.
Plan Z?
Plan Z.
Plan Z. Hi, Plan Z. I should have dressed better.
Tony, have you ever belonged to a car club, and do you like them?
Oh, me?
I've never belonged to one.
Yeah. Are you
Me.
in a car club?
I belonged to one car club once, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. I became the guy doing all the free work.
Ah,
Guys would show up with like a bag of spray paint and like, can you do flames on my car? I'm like, honey, I'm doing flames and spray paint. And that stuff like that. And just after a while, I was like, all right, I'm done. I've had enough. Thank you very much. And to the point, like, I had to give my jacket back and my club shirts back. And I did. I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, whatever.
was it the Pharaohs?
No. It was a club up in New York and in Buffalo, New York. And I went, I washed the shirts and everything and threw them in a bag and my jacket and threw it, just like, here, whatever. If you guys are gonna be that weird and that petty, okay, here, take your stuff. The president of the club comes over and he's like, well, did you pee on these or anything? Is there something wrong? I'm like, who would do that? And I just handed him the bag. I'm like, this is why I'm walking away. This is the
at that
stuff.
point,
Just
I would have
thank you.
pissed in the bag.
Yeah, I should have just hung it out right there. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody leaves with a treat. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'll be right back. But that's kind of the thing. There are car clubs that are out there that are very nice. I've met very nice people in different clubs and stuff, especially down here. I will say the South is pretty cool. I like the people here. I do like the culture of it.
How long are you here?
Going on 5 years.
Okay.
I was down here in 2007 though for a little while. I did metal and aluminum work on a 48 Tucker. It was formerly owned by Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas, and I was brought down for a couple months, worked on that. I liked the area, and then we moved back to New York. I went from New York, Illinois, and then to PA, and New York, then Massachusetts, and back to New York. Sold our house in New York, moved down here, and now I'm here. Hi. So, big roundabout thing, but
20 years for me so far. Everybody ends up in Tennessee.
yeah. I've noticed it's like, hey, how's it going? Where are you from? Those are the two questions in Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much. So, but yeah.
Dead Last Fab Shop says, "Oh dear Lord, you will interview anyone." Hi.
Yes, he will, kids.
It's not really an interview. It's just fall by and join me on the live.
Yeah.
He says it's Adam.
It's Adam.
Do you know him? I don't know.
Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do I know an
Maybe
Adam?
not. I don't know.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam. Yeah.
Uncle
I know a
Tony,
couple Adams.
Do you have any turbo projects in the future?
I do not. But Beth Del Campo and Kim from Kim Fixes Things are doing a turbo slant, and I've got their car outside. I don't know what's going on with it though.
He says, "Yes, you know me."
Okay.
Dead Last Fab Shop.
Dead Last Fab Shop. Oh, I think that is. Oh, I went to high school with this Adam.
Ah,
Up in New York.
There you
And
go.
He moved down here years before I did. He married a girl that I also went to high school with too, and they have 2 kids, and they're here. And he's guns and go-karts and trucks and truck guns. He's got a dually Chevy. He's got this white dually Chevy that's got the big custom cab thing up on it, like the upsweep roof.
Yeah, yeah.
And it needs every bit of body work, but it's so cool. It's got a stake bed on it. It's called the Stormtrooper.
Okay.
And I flew in to Nashville one day. I came back from Ian's, and he picked me up, and there was a tornado coming through Nashville. So as I come out of the B&A to find Adam, and I don't know what the hell he's going to be driving, and all of a sudden I see the Stormtrooper come in underneath the pavilion from under the rain, loud as all hell, open exhaust, and just chains on the stake bed making all sorts of noise, and it might as well have had a set of bullhorns strapped to the hood. It really needs a set. But here comes the Stormtrooper. Just, it's got dual 37-inch, 12-inch wide dualies on the back of this thing. And just in the B&A. And I'm like, that's how you get picked up from the Nashville airport.
Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I was over at Jim Bennett's
Okay.
shooting a video, and all of the sirens
Yeah.
started going off. Like,
Well-
we better get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I get pulled up, and it's the whole thing's got this beautiful red velour interior. So he pulls up, opens the door. He's like, "We gotta go now!" And I throw it in, like, "Let's go!" And whoa, out of there, and just tire rain everywhere because it just does nothing but throw like 30-foot rooster tails down the 65 when it's raining with this thing. It's amazing. So, anyways, hi, Adam.
Made Muscle says, "Tennessee is crazy populated now. In another 10 years, it's going to be even crazier. I changed my mind on moving there, sadly."
No. It's populated. It's crazy populated, like where we are. So like between
There's certain areas that, like, I'm 20 minutes north of Nashville, so it's a convenient community to be in. So those
Yeah.
communities like that, like some of the other ones like Hendersonville and stuff like that, in Greenbrier, they're starting to develop more because it's the convenience, the closeness to Nashville for jobs. Other areas in Tennessee, it's not like that.
Yeah, okay, so Nashville's in the center, and he's equidistant north as I am south.
Yeah.
Right? So he's at the top of like the population area, and
You
I'm
can
at the
see
bottom
Kentucky
of the
from my
population
front
area.
window.
Right? But everything around us is just, it's like the wilderness. Like
Yep.
this is not crowded. Just
Yeah.
if you're just in our particular area, yeah, it's a city. It's growing like crazy.
Yeah.
But God, there's so much room. If you want rural, I mean, like literally where we are here in this shop, I mean, there's cows and chickens and farms and all kinds of other things.
Oh yeah. So it's
Not crowded at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make a move, I mean, the logistics of Tennessee, if you really do your research, it's got a lot of pluses. You know, if you have to drive through Nashville in the morning to get to your job,
Your life sucks.
you might, yeah. You're gonna. How do I put this? You're gonna curse your god or deity.
Your life sucks.
Yeah.
But, right, from here, you're the same distance, within like a one-day drive. You could be in Canada, you could be in Mexico, you could be on any place on the East Coast,
Yep.
right? It's like
It's this neat central point.
it's a perfect central, exactly.
Off topic, but did they dish out the car brochures today? We did not.
What did we do?
The car brochures.
No,
Next
we
Sunday.
didn't do that. Next
do
time,
that
yeah,
next
sorry
Sunday.
about that, guys. Next,
Yeah.
we have a bunch of old brochures that we were
Yeah.
gonna give away to.
Oh, okay, cool.
So next Sunday, be here for that.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Completely forgot.
Let's see, South Shore, Long Island, baby. I'm staying. He's staying in South Shore, Long Island. That's good.
Montauk, right?
Montauk?
It's funny watching her. She'll start to read it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not finishing
I'm
that."
not finishing that one.
You got to see some of the stuff that comes over.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, we got fantastic mods. We got great mods that are always like they drop the hammer on these people.
Hey.
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is the fun BS time, but okay. Yeah, because people were saying that it's not a very technical live tonight.
Oh.
Does it always have to be a
I guess
technical
so.
live?
I guess they used
We
to
can-
being technical.
We can make it technical.
Yes.
Do you want to hammer on that again? The
Oh,
rear
yeah.
end?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I was thinking about doing some custom paintwork on it. Yeah, you could start warm that up, and here we got.
Oh, I'm warming it? Okay.
Well, you're a body guy, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here. So
What are you doing?
you take the red.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll take the yellow.
Ow.
That didn't work, did it?
My mom's calling. I gotta go.
All right. So, yeah, I'll just hammer on it.
There
Then.
you go.
Is this technical enough for you guys?
Is there a name for that technique?
This is the bot short.
Finger
technique.
painting. That's
This-
pretty much. So yeah.
This originated in Romania during the Ming Dynasty. Are you?
Yeah. Now you can hammer that in.
I can
and
hammer this in?
Yeah. So that'll drive the image in. It's kind of like engine or bluing on like firearms.
Very nice.
So you got to hammer the finish into it to get it. Make sure it's into all the pores.
Sometimes you want to try to force
Yeah,
the
yeah.
piston down into the rear end. Okay. Hey, is this technical enough for you guys? Have you ever painted a piston?
Oh yeah. It helps the ring seat. And
Well,
then
not
here.
just that, but if you put enough paint on the piston, it builds up a thick coat and raises your compression ratio.
Oh really?
See, you do like this. This is the technique.
Okay.
This was taught to me by a rabbi, actually, in Brooklyn. See, this is the ancient.
Now, will that if it's done quick enough, will that coat the bottom end of the valve as well? And like, will it?
Oh,
how do
it'll
I put
coat
that?
everything.
Will it impede the carbon building up on the valve?
Well, I like to paint all of the inside of the engine. I like to paint the
okay.
valves and the combustion chambers, the tops of the pistons. You know, I like to paint the rings in place.
Yeah. I mean,
And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then, of course, you want to settle that out a little
it's
bit.
just dedication.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's just. Oh, we forgot the string. We got a string over there. This is how you cut string. Okay.
Hey, look, alternators.
Yeah, you can hit that if you want.
No. I like the concept of the design, so I'm good.
Okay. All right. So now we've gotten technical.
This is not technical advice, they're saying. Joe K says this is not technical advice.
What did you
Technical.
call that?
I don't
We
know.
showed you all kinds of techniques.
Okay, well, I do metal. What would anybody like to know?
This episode's too technical for me. How much horsepower did that add?
6.
Yeah.
6.
6.
What's
think.
the car behind Tony? I don't recall seeing it before.
Which one? That one? That's the infamous bottle rocket.
It's heavy at 68. I'd buy that $1. I buy that for $1. Oh, okay. Not
But I
that
did- but I did already.
I have $1 for $1.
That's okay. Yours.
Sweet.
Oh my goodness. Paint flames on the third member.
So okay.
You should auction that for charity.
Hang on a second. I hope that was warranty. Okay. Need a smaller brush. But we'll do something here.
See, I usually use a 9/16 wrench.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. This is poor because this brush is really big, but I'll figure this out here. Again, I don't like pinstriping, so this is not really pinstriping, but here we go. If we had red, hang on one second, we can...
This is how they do it on Motor Trend, right?
This is exactly how they do it on motor.
Okay,
Yes,
that's what I
yes,
thought,
yeah.
Ride the pit bike. So yes, so it's more
Yeah,
circus-like.
I can't get any red out of there, but there we go. You know what? I'm sorry this happened to you, my friend. This is probably not the existence you planned on, but the end is near for you. I promise.
Scott,
Peace be with you. Yeah.
Scott Coon sent $2.
Thank you.
He said, you guys keep mispronouncing Crashville?
Crashville?
Crashville.
Crashville, yeah, or Smashville or whatever.
Oh,
Oh my god.
it's
Have
like
you
Death
been to a
Race
hockey
2000.
game in this place?
No.
Oh my god. I was taken to a hockey game because the first shop I worked for when I came down here for a little bit, we built the trailer that they serve coffee out of in the Renaissance Hotel in downtown Nashville. There's a little 66 chassis trailer in there. We built that thing in 24 days. Reskinned it, floored it, redesigned and redid the entire inside. I made a ton of stuff for the outside. I made aluminum flares or bubble skirts for it and everything, a bunch of stuff, little mics, microphones that light up and all this stuff. Well, part of the deal, they gave us passes to go to the hockey game here. So I'm like, I've been to Sabres games from Buffalo, New York before. Well, I come here, the entire place chants. Like the opposing team, they'll announce the centers and the captains and all the positions, everything. Every time they mention their name, the whole place goes, "You suck." And then when they mention the coach's name of the opposing team, they go, "And you suck too." It's crazy. And then the announcer will come out and be like, 17 seconds left in the power play or whatever, and the whole place will go like, "Thanks, Phil." It's crazy. It's nuts. And then if the Predators score on the opposing team, a little while will go by, and then finally they'll start calling out the opposing team's goalie, and they'll just chant his name and then go, "You suck. It's all your fault. It's all your fault." It's amazing. Like, oh my God. I had never been to anything like that. Anything like that ever.
I know people are fanatical about those hockey games.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
mean,
been.
sports ball, man. Rock and roll.
Yeah, sports ball is beyond me, but
But yeah.
I'm always good for crowd-oriented chaos,
This is comparable to the Bad News Bears.
Thank you.
Yes.
There will be drinks during intermission.
They wanted you to race the bikes. It's too cold to race them
It's
outside.
not going outside.
It's like 18
It's just not
degrees
gonna happen.
tonight.
Yeah.
Crazy cold.
Which is funny. The summertime I melt here. I'm from polar bear country originally.
Yeah.
I don't do like the cold. I can do the cold. The heat.
I can't do the cold anymore.
I can't. The heat kills me. My brain stops working sometimes.
I can't do the cold anymore. Yeah, I was just telling her today. I never want it to be under 70 degrees again. I never want to experience anything under 70 degrees
You're going to
again.
have to deal with colder than that.
Mm-hmm.
You have no choice.
They
I'm
sell electric
old. I
jackets.
paid my dues.
So go move to Florida then. Because you're not going to find that here. That's weird. I figured it would be warming up in Tennessee. Yeah, it was warming up.
It was
And then
gorgeous
it
here.
got
Like 2 weeks
crazy
ago,
cold.
we were running around with shorts on. I think Mother Nature saw that, so
Yeah,
they
it
went,
was
"No more
beautiful.
winter."
Yeah.
All the trees are in bloom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, geez. Okay, a lot really quiet.
Yeah. I thought this was a grudge race. Franks and beans.
Franks and beans, yes.
Let's
Never put the Frank before the bean, or the beans before the Frank, or the beans above the Frank. It was a movie about that whole thing.
knowing that Florida is getting crowded here, I guess we can't go to Florida, Tony. We could go on vacation. What do you think?
We went on a vacation once, didn't we? That was rough. I don't think I could do that again.
Just realizing it. Yeah, I haven't been on a vacation in a while either. You get busy.
Vacation would be nice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, does anyone have plans for vacation that we could like vicariously live through?
We could come with you.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
let
like,
us know where you're going,
yeah, exactly.
and we'll meet you.
Where are you guys going? We'll show up. We'll be cool. We'll play it straight and
Yeah, we'll
everything.
be
I mean,
cool.
you know, we won't like show up and be like, dudes, you gotta go now. You know, I mean, I'll put sunscreen on whomever. Whatever.
Okay, let's see. It's another polar disruption coming down here. A few more days of this.
Mhm.
Well, I can't take that.
That's another thing I've noticed with hot rodders. We watch the Weather Channel like it's going out of style. I don't know why. I don't know what we're so concerned about, but
We were all ready to take that thing to the track yesterday, right? It was opening day.
Oh yeah, please.
Supposed to be
okay.
opening day. So Friday night, I don't know, I just went on the website to see what time the gates open, and they canceled it because of the cold. It was fucking 50 degrees.
It wasn't 50. It was cold.
Ah.
It was cold.
And then they canceled next week because of the forecast for the rain. And when I was in New York, right, we used to race in the snow. I mean, literally, I remember making passes
rain,
at
snow,
ATCO.
all
just
of it, yeah.
Driving
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah,
And it's
locusts,
like,
all of it. Yep. Oh yeah.
Remember when we took the altered out? That night was freezing.
the first time I ran my fuel
It was
off,
like
it was 28 degrees
Yeah,
out.
it was 28. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Freezing.
done. We're going for a ride. Yeah.
We,
Yeah. yeah.
we went for a ride.
The kids came with us. Oh, it was terrible. Poor babies. They were little. Tony, where's your nearest track to you?
What's that?
Where's your nearest track to you?
We've got equidistant, we've got Music City one way, we got Buffalo Valley another way. About 100 miles south of us, we have what's the one in Alabama? Why can't I think of one in Alabama?
I lost.
Brain fog. There's a track up in Clarksville. The only quarter-mile track around here is Bowling Green. That's 100 miles north of us. There's a lot of tracks in the general area.
Actually, let me ask you a question. What do you prefer? I know what most people prefer. What do you prefer though? A quarter or an eighth?
If I never see another quarter mile, it'll be all too soon.
Okay.
I have completely adopted the eighth mile.
The eighth, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a lot of guys that do drag racing. They're like, it just the quarter, it's cool and all, but it tears your stuff up. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's, it's that much more distance
Well-
you're hammering down.
But the thing, okay, it doesn't matter. Well, okay, when you get into really fast cars, it's different, right? But if you're talking about something that typical, right?
Yeah.
You're done by the eighth. Okay, you're running on a quarter mile track. Okay,
Yeah.
by the eighth mile, you're in high gear.
Yeah.
The motor is already singing. Okay.
Yeah.
And
The
now
rubber
all you
band
can do,
is.
right? All you do is sit there for the next like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, going. "Ah!" And nothing changes. It's like, come on, and you just keep looking at the stripe. It's like, come on,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just takes forever.
Yeah.
Like
in your mind, you can hear the cam lobes like
you hear every single
red,
part.
glowing liquid. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. With the eighth mile, it's all action. It's where everything happens. And up until I moved down here, I never understood. I was like, eighth mile? What kind of silly stuff is that? Why don't you just run, 30 feet, right? It's like, it's a quarter mile. Oh, I was so wrong. I was absolutely so wrong. If I never in my life see the next 660 feet, it's too soon.
Okay. Yeah. I heard that from a lot.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of
that's the
guys.
truth.
Yeah.
Anybody who tries it, because people will knock eighth mile racing until they actually experience it. And the nice thing about eighth mile racing is that you can really let shit hang out, right? Because when you're doing a quarter mile,
You're doing shorter bursts of.
you're doing shorter bursts. So, and what was that?
My phone keeps falling.
Eighth mile, you can really let it hang out. Where when you're doing a quarter mile, you've got to be conservative and measured in what you do. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
like an eighth mile, send it. You know what I mean?
Till it hits the
And that's why all of the new forms of racing are all based on eighth mile. The only stuff that's quarter mile anymore are like the more archaic forms, like NHRA type of racing.
Okay.
But everything else, every new sanctioning body series, all the new tracks that are coming around or becoming popular, all eighth mile.
Well, let me ask you this, because I've been kind of out of drag racing since I left the Batcave. Basically, I kind of stopped following it. I mean, I followed Blair and Paul and stuff,
Right.
but I stopped kind of following the rest of it.
I don't follow it either.
What are the bigger guys really doing right now? What is the top mile per hour lately. For
In like fuel cars?
The big guys. Force.
Bro, I have no idea.
Really?
I have
Okay.
absolutely no idea. I haven't seen or heard of anything from that world in 20 years.
I haven't really touched into it really either. I was curious that, I'm kind of wondering. I don't know if anyone can answer that. Like, what are the Force and what's the other? Oh, geez, I'm trying to think of the
Schumacher.
Other, yeah, Schumacher drag teams and stuff like that. Well, like, what are they doing now?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I've been following the No Prep series. There's a channel called Drag or Die.
Okay.
I've been watching.
High threes.
What's that?
High threes.
Yeah, high threes.
Okay.
Drag or Die. There's a few different channels that focus on the whole no prep thing. And what a lot of these guys do is they go to a track like Darlington, let's say,
Yeah.
and they race the finish line going towards the start. And they start at the end of the shutoff area, and they race towards the starting line because they're like, no prep. I don't want no prep, right?
Yeah.
That's where the fun is. That's like, you watch these guys do their thing, and you watch the creativity and the differences in the cars. Like, there's no cookie cutter combination.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild
Whatever's
West.
going to work for that vehicle and that vehicle alone is
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that.
Yeah,
That's neat.
it's the spirit of drag racing. It's finally come back, and that's the only part of it that I'm actually interested in.
Okay, you're up 2 hours.
Yeah, it was 2 hours
That
already?
was 2 hours.
That is impossible.
No, it's not.
Well, we can go a little while longer.
Not impossible.
Yeah.
Let's see.
More than happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, you let me know when you want to pull the plug.
No, I'm good, man.
But if you've hung in this long, right? The Gearhead Underground. So go over there and
Please.
yeah, give him a sub and don't say please.
Okay.
That's
Please.
Then you seem like needy. You know?
Please watch my slight
sir.
wares. Yeah.
Please, sir, watch my video.
There's not a lot on there right now. I just kind of started the thing. So
But there will be.
Yeah.
The
there
more
will
of you guys go over there and sub and make requests, because he'll do videos to request.
Yeah.
To a limit. You know,
Yeah, literally. If anybody wants to learn how to do something, hit me up.
What's Eric working on now?
What am I working on now? Currently, I am putting together my little '79 Little Red Express.
Oh, I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, my wife found it. Actually, we found it for my son originally, and he kind of turned his nose up at it because it's a step side, and it's like, wow, he's 16. Kind of. So he's into the tuner stuff. He's looking for old Nissan 240s and
nice.
other stuff. So I'm like, yeah, all right, if that's what you want to do, let's do that. So we saw the truck. He turned his nose up at it. We left. My wife was like, I really like that truck. I think I want that. So I'm like, so call the guy, offer him a certain amount of money. And first time she dickered somebody down in price in price and everything. She's like, he said, yes. I said, you just bought a truck. So then that truck, and then it turned into, well, you build that for you, and I'll find something else at some point. So now I'm building this thing for me. But it never even went to the house. It went right to the shop. I painted it, painted the cab, painted all the front clip and everything.
You went back to original colors?
Oh yeah.
Did a restoration on it?
Yeah.
You are a Mopar guy.
Yes.
At heart.
Yeah. It's okay. So this is a weird thing. Any other car, I'll cut up, customize, modify, cut a chunk off to do whatever I need to do. Mopar stuff, for some reason.
Sacred.
Yes, I
know.
can't bring myself to modify it. I have a 70 Challenger that I acquired through. I did a floor pan in a 71 Challenger. I think it was a real.
RT?
Yes. Well, no, it was something else. Oh shoot, TA.
A 70 then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and did the floor pans in it, and in exchange, I got the 70. Well, the 70 needs floors. It's a 70 Challenger. It needs everything. All right, so I got to put a roof on it. I got to do a 1/4 panel on it. It needs floors. It's been hitting the passenger side. But I love the thing, and I've been gathering pieces and bits and pieces. But it's funny, I won't cut it up and change it. I'm gonna put it right back. It's a B5 blue car. It was just a 318 car, but it's a B5 blue car. Blue interior, console shift. So I kept the console, but now it'll have a 440 shaker hood, 4-speed, Dana rear end. I'm gonna do the little ducktail bill on the back of it.
Okay.
And I run just the regular black Steelies with the correct 70 poverty cap and everything on there, and it's sitting in my driveway under the car door waiting for, at some point.
You should do a walk around on that car. I'm
Yeah,
sure
absolutely. I'll show people what it is,
Yeah.
and but after the Little Red Express is done, I'm gonna start on the Nog project and kind of.
And the Nog is what?
The Nog is the next show car that I'm doing. Years ago, I got challenged by this guy. This guy I was working with at a shop. And I did a frame change on a 2015 Chevy Silverado. It got hit in the back. Thing had like 20 miles on it, and the insurance company put a bed on it. Well, the bed sat there on its side in the corner for like ever, and the one painter guy goes, "But you can't make a hot rod out of that." So I'm sitting there on lunch and like, hold my hug jug. I can do this. So
I already picture the car.
yeah,
I see it
I
already.
drew it up, and it was just the bed, so I hacked off this and that, and it's the main body is half the sections of a bedside on bedsides from this Silverado bed. The rest of it will all be custom, and I'll make it kind of go away, but you'll be able to see hues of that bedside on
Nice.
both sides of the thing. And then while I was drawing this up, I like eggnog. So it was the fall, and my wife was going grocery shopping at the time, and she sent me a text. She goes, "I got you the nog," and sent me a picture of eggnog because it was out. And I'm like, oh. So here I am drawing this side view of this show car, the back end, with these bedsides of what I would do. And my wife sent me this thing, "Hey, I got you more nog," which was our code name for eggnog.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that's it. That's the name of it. Because I was in just such a good place. I'm drawing a show car, and I got eggnog waiting for me when I get home. And nobody wants to be near me after I drink eggnog, just so you FYI. But that was kind of the name. It was like, all right, well, that's the name of that car.
So how far along are you with this?
The body's constructed. The frame is done for the most part. The perimeter's done. I was going to go with a traditional front suspension on it. I was going to do tubular control arms because I'd never seen that done right on an open wheel custom car.
Okay.
So I figured my challenge was to make that look cool,
traditional.
and you can, and I was kind of off to a good start, and then the Blue Demon entered my life, and so the front of that car is going to be kind of similar to the setup that's on the Blue Demon, but twice. So I have to redo all the front mounts and everything that I welded
So
to
it's
the
going to
frame.
have 4 front wheels.
Yeah, V'd, and I'm using Howell wide 5 dirt track hubs, and I got to cut down 4 Howell wheels to 4-inch wides, and the brakes and everything, and there'll be these big monster wide 5s, and they're out of aluminum, so everything can be polished like chrome.
That's awesome.
And then I'm gonna run probably a slant 6 Mopar because what I can do. Hey,
your motor.
you just so happen to have a couple laying around. Look that way. No,
No, it's yours.
but what I like about those motors is because it's got a neat shape, but I can get an extended intake for it, like a 4-barrel intake that's extended.
Yeah.
I can also do the same with the exhaust or make the exhaust however I want. So what I'm gonna do is mainly cover the motor, and it'll have an engine cover that'll kind of come down, but where the carburetor and the exhaust come out is all you're really going to see.
Did you ever see the version of the Red Baron with the slant 6 in it?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It lends itself really neat, and since I like asymmetrical stuff, it works out well for what I have in my head for the front end. But after deciding to change the suspension in the front, the headlight buckets and everything that I've already made, and my nose that I made a clear acrylic nose for this thing. It's kind of all going out the window, so now I have to redesign.
How
the whole
long
front.
is the nose?
I like short wheelbase cars. I don't like stretched out stuff. So the lung is about 101-inch wheelbase. The nog will be probably 102, 103.
So you said there wouldn't be room to put 2 slant 6s in there.
No. I don't like stretched out length front ends. Something like that, I would stuff them side by side and somehow come up with something that way.
Well, one of the ways that I had thought about doing this, you got to be careful what you talk about on YouTube because like, build that, you got to build that.
Yeah.
But one of the ways I had thought about doing this at one point for a car that I was going to build was to put them, you can put them side by side, but one has to be backwards. So I was going to run a belt drive.
Yep.
Like a 3-inch belt drive.
I've seen combinations of that on other type of inline motors,
Right.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It would make a cool V12.
Absolutely. It would be neat as all sneakers. I've also saw guys do back to back where they connect them, and it's easy enough to do that too.
Yeah.
But
There's no work to
I'm
that.
not when like the rat rod world when they're like, oh, we got to stretch the front end up. I'm not a fan of that.
No,
all.
I'm not
I
either.
had to do one to a Model T hot rod that it came in, and it was an uncut T, but it had the right rake. I thought it was a perfect wheelbase. It had the right wheels, tires on it, so it had the right flavor when it came in. And the guy's like, no, I want to pull this motor out and put this motor in, and I wanted another 8 inches for it. I want that front end stretched right out. And I was like, oh god.
No.
I did it, but it was like soul crushing.
I know
Like,
exactly.
oh, I'm cutting through, and it needed to be cut anyways because the work it had come from 2 other previous shops, and they charged the guys stupid money, and they did hack work. Like it was unsafe. Like I wouldn't ride it to my mailbox. and my mailboxes are probably only like, I don't know, 3 car lengths from my house. So it's like, eh. But as I'm cutting it, I'm like, I am so sorry for you. You know, it was bad. But yeah, I'll give away a little bit of the ghost because it's already in the works, and I already kind of started it. The floor, I wanted something different, and I saw a concept car where they did a clear floor.
You told me about this.
Which is neat and all. It's like, oh, that's cool, but you're looking at stones or grass or pavement. Like, it kind of loses its coolness. So my son has a lava lamp in his bedroom, and I'm in there saying goodnight to him the one night, and we talk at night. I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just when we, hey, what's your day like? You know, what did you do or whatever? And he sends me photos of like other cars he wants and stuff like that. He's 16. So I saw this lava lamp, and I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I grabbed it, and of course it's hot. Grab it at the base in the future, okay? Just don't go grabbing the glass because there's part of me stuck to it still. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how can I make a floor out of this? How can I make this like a floor? How can I do this flat? So I ended up doing acrylic, a couple pieces of acrylic, and sandwiching them together, bonding them, and I did a couple vent holes and everything, and I ran some water, olive oil, and food coloring. And I put an aerator in it from a fish aquarium. Guess what it does? It lava lamps.
Well, you showed me that sample piece that you made.
Yeah. So the floor is going to be lava lamps.
That's awesome.
You got a super chat from Chris Sanders for $5.
Thank you, Chris.
About 3 years ago, UT said Chevettes were good cars, and it helped me decide to keep mine and not sell it. I'm getting it going this summer.
Good.
Nice.
Way
Nice.
to go,
Fun.
dude.
It's a fun little roller skate. You could do a lot with that.
I think I want a Chevette.
You want a Chevette?
Yeah, you
My-
know, I think I'm going to turn into a Chevy person now.
I'm
What
going
do
to
you
say
think,
this.
everybody?
I have fond memories. My grandmother lived in Wilmington, Delaware, and she was a history buff and everything else. She had a gold Chevy Chevette. The thing was immaculate. It was perfect. And I remember just riding that thing forever growing up, and it was always perfect. And then at one point, it got hit. And even the shop that it went to, they were like heartbroken. They felt worse for my grandmother than she did, because she's like, well, I was looking at those new Mazdas. I mean, this was years ago. They came up with like a Mazda 3 or something, little zoom commercials and stuff. And that's she was all for that. She's like, yeah, it's time for a new one. But the shop, they were crying. They felt so bad. Like they were sending your sympathy cards, like you're lost. This car was gorgeous and everything, and it's destroyed.
Now, you see, that to me, okay, this is the mark of a true car person. Mm-hmm. Somebody looks at something like a Chevette and they say, nah, piece of shit, I want to waste my time on it. You're not a car person.
Yeah.
You're not a car person.
Everybody's got their likes and dislikes, but
there are certain things that are just...
they just ooze cool, and even if they weren't intended to be cool.
Right, it's charming, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got something,
right.
It's got moxie or whatever you want to call it, but it's got presence there, it's sitting there, and for whatever reason, it's taking your concentration and your eye and your attention to it.
I go to an event, I'll walk through the parking lot, and you'll find something like that. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a Chevette, but it could be any of those, like, quote, uncool cars.
Yeah.
That are... And those are the ones that I stop at, and those are the ones I look at, and do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's like, I don't care what's sitting next to it. It could be something with wings and flames and like stuff sticking out. I don't want to see that. Show me this immaculate 1977 old Starfire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So BB Dodge says he has a 4-door Camaro for me?
Do you?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it left-hand drive?
Probably.
I don't know. Actually, what do you got for tape around here? Do you have any fine line?
Fine line. No, I got masking tape.
Then blue tape. Oh shit. Okay.
I have hammer.
Yeah. Well, I tried painting flames, but here's the thing: I can't draw to save my life, but I can tape flames off like there's no tomorrow, and it's funny. I can't draw. I can do a stick figure, but that's it. But I can go and tape flames off on a vehicle, and do side to side and match perfectly.
Dude, I'm gonna have you flame an engine.
Yeah.
I said the
Sure.
next one I build is gonna be white. I want to build a white engine.
Mm-hmm.
How about a white engine with flames?
Can do it.
Flame the whole fucking thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
That would be badass.
You can do that. But yeah,
We got to get to wrapping this up.
oh
so.
yeah, okay. So the little stuff, like if anybody wants to see anything as I do this channel thing and go down this odyssey with you guys and kind of share this, any questions, anything like, flames, how to tape stuff off, lead work, metal work, paint work, how to flake, how to candy, marbleize. People really ain't doing marbleize anymore, but I'll show you how to do it.
But a
Somebody
lot of
could,
practical
take it
stuff,
and go
too.
back. Oh, yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of guys, especially the ones who follow this channel, that are learning, and they're cutting their teeth, and they're just trying to learn the basic metal skills. And
Well,
you show people how to shrink,
Oh,
how
yeah.
to do stuff like that. That's like invaluable. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. TIG welding, show you some neat stuff on like how to tack stuff together. The guy that I'm working with now, he showed me a trick that somebody showed him. It's little things like your panels basically everything gets butted up, right? Okay, so your panels get there's no gap when you TIG weld aluminum, okay? So everything's got to be perfectly gapped. Well, to TIG it together, you're either going to use your filler rod and basically like you're starting to do a bead. He showed me you take your tungsten and push it all the way into the cup.
Okay.
You set the cup on the panel and you just and it'll tack it. And you just
With no filler.
no filler, and just
That makes sense.
he uses the tank tread on the torch instead of the foot pedal.
But how thick does the aluminum have to be?
Oh, it's
Because you couldn't do
usually
that with-
3003. It's about 16th, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay.
The 3003 stuff was what you see like, aluminum cars and stuff like that are
You couldn't do it with a Coke can.
no,
Right.
no. There are guys that do that sort of thing and TIG and have their pimp TIG hand down to a T that they can do that stuff. I've seen razor blades TIG welded together, which is kind of easy because it's hardened steel. But pop cans and stuff, I've seen that. I've seen it happen. I've seen guys do it. It's an amazing thing to see. But you have to keep in mind though, don't get disheartened when you see videos or see guys do that, because I get disheartened like I'll never be that great. But on the same note, they started out there too. They just persevered and kept going until that was done.
I got a quick
Oh,
TIG,
yeah,
I got a quick TIG story.
Okay,
right?
okay.
This goes way back. I was talking about building a funny car chassis at the house. So I was gas welding everything.
Okay.
And I had gas welded a lot of, chromoly steel was formulated to be gas welded.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be NHRA legal. I wanted a 101B sticker on the car, right?
Okay.
And
yeah.
I could have duplicated a TIG with the torch.
Yes.
It's like you couldn't tell the difference, but I wanted to be right. Okay. So I got the cage. I got the cage all set up and the rear end mounts all set up, right? And I'm ready to start gas welding these things together.
Okay.
So I tack them all together with the torch, and I says, no, I'm gonna do this the right way. Okay.
Okay.
So now, this is like, it's July. Okay. It's like 6 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock at night. It's like 95 degrees, humid as hell. I says, I am gonna TIG this. So I had a friend of mine who had a TIG. So I go over to his place and I borrow the TIG.
Yeah.
Right? So I bring it back to the shop, to the house. And now in the morning, first thing in the morning, I gotta leave and I gotta drive to, I think it was Martin, Michigan, Milan, one of the tracks. We had a match race over there with another car.
Okay.
So I never wore any sort of goggles or gas welding. You don't need eye protection, right?
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. All right, so you see where this is going? You see where this is going,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So by the time I get back to the house, and I got this all set up, now it's like 11 o'clock, and I gotta be on the road at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not gonna leave until this thing is all
Yeah.
tigged together.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have nothing.
I'm on a mission, yeah.
I'm on a mission, I'm gonna do this, right? So I go ahead and I proceed, how big could it possibly be, right? So I start TIGging, and I got nothing, and I'm just watching it all, and after just a couple of minutes, my eyes adjusted, and I was like, oh, I can do this. And I ended up, I welded everything. I welded the cage, I welded the rear end uprights. Now the sun is coming up, okay? The sun is coming up. I was wearing a white tank top, okay? And this whole time, sweating the whole time because it was July. And now I've got second-degree burns. First and second-degree burns everywhere. I didn't realize it as I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And I'm blind, right?
Yep.
But I got to beat this match race because I've already been paid
Yeah,
to
you're
be at
going,
this match
so
race. I got to go.
There's no Visine in the world that's gonna cure that.
Bro, it was the most painful experience of my life. I jumped in the car, right? I'm burnt to a crisp. I look like a freaking lobster. And as I'm driving, the tears are just blowing out of my face and I can't keep my eyes open. I drove all the way to this fucking race going like this.
Okay.
I was the diver on the car. Yeah. Right? I was
Okay.
diving on the
Yeah,
car.
okay.
I dove 3 rounds like this, blinking, laying on the ground.
Why is the wind so windy? Why is it hurting me? Why is this existence pain? Yeah, okay.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, and then you came back to like the kids are having like a play or graduation. They had a graduation. And you showed up.
Okay, all right.
Something like that.
Pro tip.
Pro tip, you wear stuff.
Yes, but if that happens, because what you're basically doing, you're burning your retina. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is this: you created a wound. I know this because metal work. I've had more metal drilled out of my eyeballs by little Dremel machines at eye doctors.
So I've never done
That I
that.
care to
just let
mention.
it come out.
Well,
It's painful.
when
It
they
takes a
get
long
stuck,
time.
they start to rust. So then they go in with a little tiny drill. They
know.
turn on a little light. Say, stare at it. Don't look away. And they go in and drill it out, right? And get it off the nerves. Well, so that what happens is now you got an open wound, like burning your retinas. It's an open wound. What hurt so bad was the oxygen on the wound. So here's the trick: you get metal drilled out of your eyeball, or you you burn your retinas from welding flash. Wear a helmet, wear goggles, but those issues, I know those instances happen. I've done the same thing. Clear contact will keep the oxygen out of the eye,
That's brilliant.
and you'll be able to sleep that night. Because I guarantee you, that night you went to go to bed, and every time the eyelids shut, you were lit back up, weren't you?
Oh, like 3 nights I didn't.
Yeah. Clear contact will keep the oxygen out. It'll allow it to heal, and you won't feel a thing.
Huh.
So there's your
Where
tip,
were you
kids.
when I needed you the most?
I went through about 6 or 8 sessions of staying wide awake and being lit up. And every time I got metal in my eye, as soon as I left the eye doctors, it seemed to be the sunniest, brightest day out.
See, I've had more metal in my eyes.
Yep.
I mean,
MRI machines, you got to go get tested, and I got to get X-rayed first to make sure there's no metal. You know.
but you see, I've never gone to an eye doctor. I tough it out. It takes a long time. Your eye will eventually push it out, and it ends up right there in the corner.
Yep.
You know?
If you get something in your eye, what I was told by the eye doctors, basically, here we go. We're doing technical stuff now.
You know, this is not eye care advice.
I'm sorry, I have a face for radio, kids. That's why I wear these. But you get shit in your eye, open your eyelid up, both of them.
Right.
Take your eyeball, and you're going to go full 360 as
yeah.
far around as you can, and it will eventually filter to the middle or to the corner of your eye, and you can pluck it out.
Yep.
I knew other guys that would take, like, paper towels and literally lay it on their eye and
I've done
pull
all of
that.
that.
You know,
I've done
stuff
all
like
of that.
You can do that.
Q-tips and
The biggest thing is you don't want to scratch whatever's in there because you aggravate it, because then you're going to be lit up. It's a wound. You're basically scraped through the UV layer, and when you did the welding thing with the torch and burn your retinas, you burn through that UV area, that layer in your eye, and that's what hurts like hell.
you know, the funny thing is that all of the damage I've done, because I had a battery explode in my face when I was a teenager, and that the acid got in my eyes, and but I went to the eye doctor for that one.
Okay, yeah,
That was
it was
pretty
like,
brutal.
hey, yeah, I
Right.
need to make sure I didn't do something bad.
Well, he did though. It burned. There's like a protective layer that's on there that gone,
Yep.
right? And then, like I said, just over the course of 50 years, 45 years of just doing things and being a maniac with this shit, I've had, pounds of metal stuck in my eyes. But
You're not a true hot rodder, kids, unless you've been blown up.
Oh, no, that's the truth. That's the truth. Don't kill you. It only makes
Yeah,
you a
you know.
YouTuber. So but my eyes are fucking great. I mean, I don't need glasses for anything but reading. You know what I mean? But even at this, like, I know what it says, so that wouldn't count. But I mean, I can read almost anything. And
Well, I see the reading glasses here.
oh yeah,
and
I brought
I
some extra
actually-
in case you needed.
Yeah, I actually, about a year or so ago, we were in a hardware store, right? And we're getting another key cut. My son kept losing his house keys. I don't know how, but kept losing them. So we're in the store at the little key fob thing, and right next to it is a reader's stand. So she's over there cutting the key, and I'm over there just being a felon. And I'm messing with all the glasses. Finally, I put a pair on, and I look at the writing on the thing, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
oh no. Oh dear God. So apparently I'm a 124, and and I've been using them, I've been wearing them in my welding helmet lately because, you know, you weld and you find yourself getting closer and closer.
Yep.
So I started wearing them under my helmet, and then we were at the Body and Soul shop with Paul, I had painted an airplane, I think 2 years ago for a guy. He was an eye doctor. He sold his practice, but Paul wears readers as well, and we considered going to him and going, we really need to contact him. And he's like, well, I did. He can change our welding lenses to the prescription. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, just drop them off. I'm like, we really need to do that. Because both of us will weld on something, and all of a sudden we're taking off the helmet, then the glasses, and then putting it all back. It's like, son of a... How did this happen?
It just sneaks up on you.
I was young. I'd like all this gray, like, I don't know what is doing that, but it's happening. It's a thing.
I go to Dollar Tree, and
Yeah.
I just buy 20, 30 pairs at a time.
Mhm.
And I just leave them everywhere.
Mhm.
You know? What?
Are you forgetting I'm over here?
Oh, sorry.
Hey!
You're on the live stream.
Hi.
Okay, so they're asking like what the name of his channel is.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can
Sorry.
you hold down the fort for a minute? I just gotta hit
Yeah,
the,
go,
the tinkle room. I'll be right back.
Yeah, all right.
She's going
So, okay, guys, sorry. I'm Eerie Eric. Mr. Uncle Tony invited me out to be part of this. I build custom cars for a living and stuff. You can Google my fun car, the Iron Lung Bubble Top. There's a Google search or hashtag for that guy. But you can find me on the Body and Soul Shop's YouTube channel, and I just started one the other day for my next build and some of my more weirder stuff, the Gearhead Underground. So you can search the Gearhead Underground. There's a couple videos on it now. They're kind of shorter. Just some stuff I did in the past and some monkeying around, but we'll do some technical stuff if guys have questions and want to learn stuff like, you know, how to do lead work or metal work or how to put panels on or design panels. Hit me up and I'll do a video on it, and I don't mind showing everybody.
Do you want them to email you or
Uh,
just comment on the?
Yeah, you could either comment on the channel, just comment on one of the videos and just be like, hey, I'd like to see this or that, and I'll read them and you know, I'll do it. You know, I've picked up my information over the years from everybody. I never went to school for anything like this. I just kind of started doing it and found other people that were better than me and watched and listened and took whatever information or advice they could give me and kind of went from there. And you're back.
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
Much, much better than you.
Dollar Tree has night driving glasses and they're really good. I need those.
I don't know. I got to make another trip because, like, with
Well,
the
when
the
you go,
economic
tell me,
implosion
'cause
and
the ones
you know,
by the
I'm
night-
gonna
You don't know if you're gonna.
The
gonna
night
go buy all
driving-
of
There's a
them.
Twilight Zone. There's an old Twilight Zone episode
the-
about
the
that.
guy with the reader,
The
yeah.
reader, yeah. There's time now.
right.
Yeah. Get
Crunch.
your glasses
Yeah,
quickly.
see, he didn't have a Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Mhm. What do we got next?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I thought-
Ari is texting me.
I thought
Sorry.
you passed out.
No.
Is Ari going on after us?
Ari, are you going on after? Let's see. They're talking about glasses. Charles Manson. He keeps asking this question like 50 times.
Yes, Charles.
Um,
It's my favorite psycho.
Slant 6 diesel conversation. Your thoughts? I will absolutely persist in this question.
Yes, I
Ari says
actually
he's going live. Yeah.
I studied all of the engineering papers from the Chrysler Slant 6 diesel program. I at some point I found all of the stuff that they did on it. I studied it all. It's interesting to me. Diesels aren't really interesting to me, but the idea of making a diesel out of a Slant 6 is. So yeah, I've already looked into that, and maybe at some point we'll do something like that. But I can't.
Kind of the same way. I don't know enough about them to really mess with them.
They just don't do it for me.
There's a lot of power and stuff in there, but it's how do I put it? I don't know enough how to hot rod it. I know other guys do, and I know there's a diesel. There's guys that is the Bible, which is great and all, but I like to pull. Like I still do gas burner trucks to pull my show car trailer. You know,
Yeah. I go to the track. I see these fast diesel trucks. I love that stuff, right?
Yeah.
If I notice a couple of fast diesels going to run, I go right to the front of it. But I have no desire to own or work
how do I
on
put
or
this?
anything like that.
They sound weird.
They do sound weird, but they
And
sound
I'm sorry, I don't
vicious
mean to
at the same
offend
time.
anyone because I know they make big, stupid power.
Yeah,
you know,
I enjoy diesel trucks from a spectator standpoint, and that's really as far as
I don't know if I'd want to own one. Definitely not an older one because I was told that's issues. So if you're gonna do one, get a new one. Well, that's $100,000, and you have it for a couple years, and you hand the keys back, and they give you another one.
Yeah,
you know, it's just my own personal preference. I just.
Right. So Ari is going to be on after the Tony show. We usually, these Sunday Night Lives, we usually take them down. We'll leave them up for like 24 hours or so, and then we take them down. But this one we're going to leave up.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, right?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
What did I do?
No, there's some sections I might have to take out, but
You may have to edit some stuff.
I may have to edit.
She may have to
some
edit
things,
some stuff. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. No, we'll leave, this one will be up. This will be on the regular. This was fun, man.
Yeah, I had a blast. Actually.
Yeah, it flew. This is like,
Yeah, this is kind of well. That's the best part, though. You know, you get started, and you're like kind of slow, and after a while, you get in your rhythm. And you're like,
Yeah.
all right, this is fun. You know, it's like when you go to a house party and you really don't know anybody, and then all of a sudden you meet all these people.
Yeah, right,
and you're
right.
like, It's 3 a.m. You're like, I gotta go. But yeah.
all right.
Okay.
So, what's that?
I said, okay.
All right. So that's it.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I
wrap it
think
up.
so, yeah.
All right. So guys, our mods, Ari,
Thank you,
Fubar,
Ari.
Zero. Thank you guys
Thank you,
as
Fubar.
always.
Thank you, Zero. Hemi had just sent you $4.99. Says thanks, guys.
Thank you, Hemiet. Everybody contributed with Super Chat. Thank you so much. It helps keeps the light on and everything else. We have our hats in the store now. We have our shirts.
UncleTony'sGarage.com.
I hate cars.
Yeah, we have our I Hate Cars shirt in the store. All of the stuff is in the store.
And go to Ari's channel for the after show.
Yes, and go to Ari DeBernie's
After the
channel for the
Tony.
after show. And go subscribe to the Gearhead Underground. The Gearhead Underground. That's Eric, and he's going to be throwing all kinds of stuff out there. And I'm going to drag him into some of the stuff that we've done, maybe doing. I don't know.
It's Mopar stuff.
I'm going to drag him into this stuff. So
I'm going to become a Chevy person.
you're going to, Kathy's going to become a Chevy person. We're
Yeah.
going to start looking for a Chevette.
There's
for her right away.
medication to clear that
Chevette.
out.
I had a customer that had a diesel Chevette.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, it wasn't a diesel Chevette. It was a diesel Rabbit.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference, but I almost died trying to merge onto the Belt Parkway.
I've almost died trying to merge onto the
Quick
Parkway.
impression. Ah! Yeah, okay.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. The traffic was flying by at like 70 miles an hour, and I was merging at
You're
like 30.
Pinned to the woods, you're like,
Into the right.
open the driver's door and kind of roller skate your leg.
The first time I had ever driven this thing, and I had no idea how slow it was.
Yeah.
I almost died getting on the bridge coming from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, there's no yield or anything. It's like you gotta go. You gotta go when you're getting on the bridge, and then there's like an 18-wheeler coming.
No, yeah.
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out. You should die.
So
I didn't
that's
know.
it, guys.
All right.
We're out of here,
Thank
and
you.
thank you all for
everyone.
joining us. And we'll see you next Sunday night. And
And
I'll
we'll
just-
have brochures to give away.
Yes, we'll
We
give
were
the
supposed to do that
brochures
this
away.
weekend, but
So sorry we forgot about that.
yeah,
So
we'll do it next weekend.
that's it. Any final
Thank
words?
you.
No, this has been a blast.
This has been a blast.
Man,
All right.
that's cool.
Thank
Good
you,
night, all.
everybody. Good
See you.
night.
Peace.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?